Got it.
Got it. Got it. Alrighty, y'all. Peaceful greetings, Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey, here in Morocco at northwest of Maxim. Happy Holy Degree. Alrighty, guys. It is that Venus degree. Alrighty. It's Friday. Friday is a holy day, right? Because when man formed in the flesh, it was on a Friday. And when man came out of flesh, left out of flesh, you know, it's a Friday. I can get my 101 and do it. I just want to get through it very briefly of why it's a holy day, guys. But we all know I can go and grab the reference right now if you like me to. However, while I'm doing that, I like to bring also in introduction fashion my magnificent bro, and he is
With the shining ear, as well.
It's Lame Lounge. All right, and it says like the doorbell's ringing already. Let me in, the brothers are saying. So let my brothers in, right? I went and grab the Quran and the 101s and 102s and whatnot. All righty, there's my beloved brother, in whom I'm well pleased, Brother Benjamin Bey. Let's bring Brother Benjamin in, right? You're gonna have to turn your camera on, broski doski, so I can spotlight you along with our other multiple screens here, right? You guys know we're doing it, you know, just because we have Senior Jackson Bey coming in soon, right? We're just waiting on our guests to show up, so we're just sitting here, going over some things that seriously, because Brother Benjamin had brought up something very, very valid. And he had a simple question, right? And I think what I'm going to do with his question, right? I'm just going to, just share my screen or whatever the case may be, right? However, in doing that, guys, I am going to first say my peaceful greetings to you all in the chat, just to put it there. If anyone's here, anyone isn't, it's all good for me. Looks like there's possibly one. Am I the one? I don't know. Maybe it's Brother Sean or Brother Benjamin in there, but I'm going to still say peaceful greetings, beloveds, and happy holy degree. All right. And happy holy slash, you want to put a slash here, Venus degree, space slash space, Venus degree, right? To all Muslims globally, worldwide, happy holy degree to all Muslims, correct? All righty. So maybe I can get, we're just going to screen it up like this today. That's what we're doing. This is what we're doing today. All righty. We're just going to do it just like this. All righty. And enjoy ourselves and just have a really, really great time. Right. All right. So with that being said, right. Peaceful greetings, beloveds, and happy holy degree, right? Honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, right? Unapologetically, honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali for bringing us back our lost estate and reminding us about our lost estate, right? Right. We're here regaining it, right? In a conflict that cannot be told in words. So with that being said, let me put my peace and love portions there for you all, right? And boom shagalaga, there it is. It is posted to the chat, and we're going to be sharing this out, guys, as we're speaking to you also, right? So we're going to be doing our own sharing. I'm about to put this out to Facebook for you guys. Check it out, and then we're going to get right into Brother Benjamin's question. I'm just going to share the screen, get right into Brother Benjamin's question, right, and just let this thing just work this thing on out, right? So let's share this to the Facebook, right? And let's see. We're going to do live now, right? Let's do live now. I want to keep it simple and just put hashtag join us, all right? Well, you know what? I like click and join. Let's do hashtag click and join. All right. All righty, Aphrodites. Peace be unto you for this particular Facebook message here. And I'm going to tag my magnificent bros. Now we also have our other magnificent bro that just come in also in introduction style. You are
It's Benjamin Bey. That would be me.
That would be he.
All right.
He's I'm him.
Hey, how you doing?
That will be he, right? All right, so there we are. Let me make sure I got this in here correctly. Boom Shaka and the Lakas. Let me see. Let me make sure I tag my bros, right? Because Benjamin, Brother Sean, and done. Oh, you know what? Brother Corey, pardon me. Boom Shakalakas. Never forget.
we the Globe Bros.
You said we're the Globe Bro?
Yeah, I put the same background as saying with the Globe Bros.
The Globe Bros. Y'all are hilarious, man. Super hilarious. That's right. Have something for us to, take a look at when we're doing our searches in time and all of that. Hey, that's moving back there. I like the whole Aurora Borealis thing moving back there, bro. That's pretty awesome. I love that.
Yeah, those are the Northern Lights.
Yeah, Aurora Borealis, right? Aurora Borealis, as they would say. Because Borealis is northern. Australis. Yeah, is south. So Borealis is north, Australis is south. So yeah, let's just have a great old fun, good old time here, guys. And let's just get to it. Let me just share the screen. Boom, shakalaka, boom, boom. And waiting on the screen share to come on up, ski. All righty. And well, I'm just going to cut right to the chase. And I'm going to bring up, actually, I'm moving ahead. Let's just go right here. Brother Benjamin had asked this question right here. And so I typed it in Google, right? And oh, what a rabbit hole it became. All righty. One simple question. You want to ask your question to the people, Brother Benjamin?
Oh,
is he there?
No. Yeah.
I said it. Did I say it? Yeah. When does Lent start? Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can. Yeah, I think you got a little freeze for a second, but you're good now.
Okay. Yeah. When does Lent start?
When does Lent start? I'm like, that's a good question. Because as we reviewed, what was that? Last cycle, we reviewed Veritas, right? So in reviewing Veritas, all right, we notice, and I'm going to bring it up. I'm not just going to say it. I'm going to actually bring these documents up, right? However, we know that when you're talking orthodox anything, it means sidereal astrology. All righty, that's what it is, guys. Sidereal astrology. All righty. So usually when I hear orthodox, right, that's what it is for me. All righty. Usually when I hear orthodox, that's what it is for me. All righty. So when I hear that, I'm thinking like, okay, we need to check Veritas and check the northern hemispheric plates and the southern hemispheric plates for the ones that we have. I mean, every culture has obviously had their own plates made pertaining to how they made pictures with the constellations and certain stars, so to speak, right? The gods, constellations are gods. The gods are the constellations, all right? So, in the changing of the constellations, we are, right? We are, we're just like really looking forward to share this, guys, with you. So let's just show the brief rabbit hole that just ensued here, guys. What actually took place, right? Let me copy this link here. What actually has taken place, right, is the fact that it's on March 2nd, so that's past. That's 9 days ago, right? So I was like, my next question was, how long is that, right? Well, let's go in order. After that, I was like, let's go and look at March 2nd, right? So that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to look at March 2nd, right? What they call, and I said, hey, look, wow, it's a new moon that day, right? Just 34 minutes after noon, after high noon, it's a new moon. So, you know, the mathematic me was thinking, let's count 40 days, right? 30 days have September, April, June, and November. So from the 2nd to the 31st is 29 days. We only need 11 more days. So are you telling me that the full moon is on March 11th? Because that's 40, right? However, we find out that the first vernal full moon, it's kind of, you know, redundant to say first vernal full moon. It's only going to be the only vernal full moon. So let's edit that. Let's edit that. Let's hit edit, right? And let's call it vernal. Let's call it vernal full moon 2022. Let's call it that. Alrighty, and it's safe, right? So we'll call it that, right? And then what we will do actually, even though we looked at, you know, Ash Wednesday, we're going to actually look at them in double. We're going to look at both of these things, right? So let me actually edit that and make sure we got the first gun out of this also, right? So we can just say vernal full moon, because we would say autumnal full moon, right? It was autumn. Summer solstitial full moon, or winter solstitial full moon, right? We would say that, right? Go. So with that being said, guys, this is where, you know, my mind immediately went when Brother Benjamin asked the question, right? However, let's go back because my mind also went other places afterwards. All righty. So we see that he asked the question, when does Lent start? Wednesday, March 2nd, Ash Wednesday, the first day of Lent, 2022. So my mind goes and does the astrological thing. We just went through that, right? And then next, I was like, whoa, Brother Benjamin, cool. This makes me think about origin, right? So, Brother Benjamin, I yield the floor to you, beloved brother. Do you want to go in on this origin or at least read that portion there?
All right. The origins, can you hear me?
Yes.
Indeed.
All right. The origin and early history of Lent. Historians generally agree that the 40-day period before Easter, known as Lent, emerged shortly following the Council of Nicaea in 325 AD. Our earliest observations of Lent seem to have focused particularly on the practice of fasting.
So what I'm thinking already, just you reading that, Brother Benjamin, it makes me think that there was maybe a shortage on supplies. And maybe people wanted to incorporate fasting a certain way because of the behavior of people. So maybe this was Reformation happening, because this is after the Niceno-Constantinopolitan Creed being written after the meeting in 325 AD. Are we clear? Kind of weird, right? So I'm just saying that, you know, can we actually say that this is something that was ancient and germane to our ancient foremothers and forefathers? Or was this something utilized as a means to control a people who didn't have the power or resource control as maybe some other people? Right? Or is the Council of Nicaea really just the manifestation pertaining to another family feud, a post-family feud meeting? Because when you start to really check the history prior to the 1500s, all you see is copper-toned beings, period. After a while, when you really study, you start going back in history, you really realize that all the people that are being spoken about are 9 times out of 10 copper-toned beings, right? So my mind kind of went there when Brother Benjamin, you know, so Brother Benjamin shared that. Let's see, what was on the right there, Brother Benjamin? Did you want to kind of go into that?
The about.
Yes, absolutely, the about.
All right.
This is according to Wikipedia, of course, but let's see, what are they saying?
All right. Lent is solemn, religious.
Oh, hold on.
All right. So
There you go. You're good. Yeah, we hear you now. You're good.
All right, all right. Lent is a solemn religious observation in the Christian liturgical.
Yeah, liturgical.
Calendar.
Solemn religious observance in the Christian liturgical.
Liturgical. Thank you, brother. Calendar. Commemorating the 40 days of Jesus.
Time out. They're giving you the digital water sound.
Oh, 2 seconds. Still happening? Am I still digital water?
No, we start over. Lent is a solemn religious observance. I just plugged in my iPad to make sure it's not me either.
Probably me. Most definitely. I'm trying to put my iPad. Let's see what happens. But, am I still underwater? Am I still under ice?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. I think you're good now. Let's do it.
All right. Lent is a solemn religious observation in the Christian liturgical calendar commemorating the 40 days of Jesus spent fasting in the desert. According to the Gospels of Matthew, Mark, and Luke, before beginning his public.
Oh, they did it to him again.
God damn it. Oh, that was probably loud. That's the areas in me.
No worries, brother Benjamin. No worries. I'll do it for him, guys. We're just gonna look at that like it's just whatever the energy is.
One second.
Lent is a solemn religious observance in the Christian liturgical calendar. So we'll look up liturgical so we're clear on the etymology. All righty. Commemorating the 40 days Jesus, Yeshua, right? The I am identity, metaphysically speaking, spent fasting in the desert according to the Gospels pertaining to Matthew, Mark, and Luke. All righty. Before, one moment. Before beginning his public ministry, during which he entered temptation by Satan. All righty. So now usually my mind goes to what is the metaphysical. I'm getting what we can go into the metaphysical too to see what Lent pertains to, even if it's in there in the metaphysical Bible dictionary. I don't know, but that's what
Islam, bro. Let me hop in on my phone. I already got it pulled up because that's where my mind went as soon as you started reading.
Oh, while we're having this brief, I switched over to my iPad. I'm gonna just keep talking until I fall underwater to see if my words would go out or anything. So we still did. Say words and stuff like that.
Yeah, somebody's giving off. Well, you gotta know.
Hold on 1 second. Let me put these headphones in.
All right.
Yeah, I hung up on my phone, but yeah.
There we go. We good?
So.
It won't let me screen share.
Already got you. 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Because if I'm not mistaken, it should be so everybody can screen share. So let me see if it's me, bro. 2 seconds. Boom, shakalaka, and stop. Boom. Let's see if you can screen share now. If not, I gotta switch this host.
Indeed. All right.
How you looking?
All righty, here we go. All righty, so where's he at? I'll make sure I was in the right. Nope, right there. There we go. All right, so stay right there. All right, so the temptation of Jesus, Matt 4, looks like 111, took place within himself. The place of overcoming is within the consciousness pertaining to man or mind. When we follow Jesus, Yahshua, or justice, we rise above the demands of the flesh and sense world. The 40 days fast is an all-around denial of sense demands. The 40 days fast is an all-around denial of sense demands. In fasting, we in our thoughts live above the material needs. We are, quote, led up, end quote, and our appetites and passions are for a season and such an eclipse that we think that they will trouble no more. But he afterward hungered. there is a return to sense consciousness.
One more time, bro. Go back, because I saw you was reading at the bottom. Let's let the people know where you were reading. Zoom in a little more. He's reading at the bottom, y'all. All righty.
Yeah.
Perfect. Go one more time, beloved brother. It's
All
long.
right. So yeah, you me start from the top. Yeah.
Yes, please. From the
All right.
temptation.
Yes. The temptation pertaining to Jesus, justice, or Yahshua took place within himself. The place of overcoming is within the consciousness pertaining to man or mind.
1 second. That reference is Matthew,
Chapter
degree 4.
Degree 4.
Minute 111. So Matthew 4, 111. Some people say chapter 4, verse 111.
Or degree.
That equals a 7, by the way. I yield.
7's everywhere.
I know, right?
Let's see. Here we go. When we follow Jesus, Yahshua justice, we rise above the demands of the flesh and sense world. The 40 days fast is an all-around denial of sense demands. The 40 days fast is an all-around denial pertaining to sense demands. In fasting, we in our thoughts live above the material needs. We are quote unquote led up, and our appetites and passions are for a season and such. There we go. Such an eclipse that we think they will trouble no more. But he hungered, afterward hungered. There is a return to sense consciousness. The devil is personality, the adverse consciousness that has been built up in ignorance and disregard of the divine law. The devil is personality, the adverse consciousness that has been built up in ignorance and disregard of the divine law.
Hold on one moment, brother Sean. So, all right. So I think you got it, right? Because now
that was right there.
But hold on. But no, you're still reading because it's still going into the temptation. I yield the floor, beloved brother. Islam. Continue on that.
Indeed. All right. So the temptation to turn stones into bread illustrates the thought of ignorance that deceives people with the belief that they can satisfy the soul with materiality without looking for the bread that comes from heaven, the word of God. We must feed our soul with new truths daily, that we may grow in spiritual ways. We must feed our soul with new truths daily, that we may grow in spiritual ways.
Because can't satisfy the soul with materiality. And to add to what you're saying right here, this is exactly what I shared from meeting Prophet Noble Dralian's literature from the tape. If you go to the post I shared, is exactly what he was reading, because when it was like the devil is personality. And so Brother Hasan was going over Lent, if you think about it, in the class, but not going over Lent, if you think about it. But this came from Lent, and we kind of came to the same road, which is back to self and back to just personality. So they're honoring self, but like curiously honoring self by honoring something outside of themselves, such as Jesus, which is the justice inside of you, or the execution of your song. But yeah, that was fire. Because like I said, the reason they do that physical Lent is for the quote unquote soul, but it says right here that those physical things or materiality can't satisfy the soul. Not hating on that, but even like as far as going to church as well. But speaking of stand on the Lent, yeah, just doing that is vicariously trying to satisfy the soul, but you have to do soul work. That's definitely knowing your chart.
Islam, bro.
Yeah, for sure. There you
go. All right.
I'll read right here if you want me to.
All right. You get the second temptation.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
The second temptation of Jesus means that no display of spiritual power or personal glory should be made. We cannot make a display of our spiritual power with safety. To worship the devil is to worship personality, to give it personal consciousness, and give it the substance of our life and thought. When the temptation arises in our consciousness to use our God-attained spiritual faculties and powers for the building of our personal ambitions, we should know that under the divine law, There is but one worthy of our worship and service, the Lord God. To serve God, we must build up spirituality in the mind, body, and affairs. In Luke 4 degrees, 16 minutes, and 30 seconds, Jesus represents the spirit of truth, declaring its mission, empowering the place of its development. The common, everyday mind, the highest spiritual truth, may be flashed into a mind while you are performing the most commonest duties of life. Nazareth is a type of inferiority. It was considered a community of commonplace, if not disreputable people. Disreputable people. Can anything good come out of Nazareth? I remember, and that clicked in my mind. We were in the class. He goes, "Can anything come good out of the hood?" You know, because I was thinking about what Nazareth was, and Nazareth is basically the ghetto, quote unquote. And can anything come out of a muddy mine? You know, can anything come out of quote unquote downtown Birmingham? If you know where like I'm stationed there, right down the south, or a small pocket of just stagnation where you are, and and your quote unquote Malcolm X, or Nip Hussle, or a Brother Sean come out of Kentucky type deal. Yet in that mediocre village, Jesus was reared, and in anyone's mediocrity mind, the Christ truth is expressed. Mediocre mind. We know many of the trite statements of truth so well that we find it hard to conceive that they are the mighty power that can relieve us from the bonds of sense. It is not this Joseph's son, but in no other place shall we find the truth that sets free, the power that brings salvation from every ill within us. It is in the gracious words of the indwelling Christ. Today have this scripture be fulfilled in your ears. Every day our inner ears are filled with this truth. We know the right, we know the just, we know the pure. This is the scripture. This is written on the heart with us. Do you ask for a sign of power? Do you want miraculous healing without fulfilling the law of right thinking and right doing? Microwave results? Then you are those microwave results. Then you are not receiving the Christ spirit rightly. You are seeking the temporal instead of the eternal. And if you let this superficial phase of mind rule, you will reject the Christ spirit and cast it out of the mist. And that reminds me of walking past Noble Dry Lead, get to Jesus. I think Brother Hasan spoke on that, but that was Brother Seafrim now that said that, they walk right past Noble Dry Lead, get to Jesus. So you looking for something, really, I guess, like a savior, quote unquote, you walk right past the Christ spirit, which is, Noble Dry Lead, which is a manifestation of, where you're supposed to be, kind of like a trophy represents like the hard work you did and the journey, and Drali represents the journey of coming out of the dead state of mind or the mental state of slavery. Mark 9 degrees 2 minutes 13 seconds tells us that the transfiguration, Jesus went up into the mountain to pray and was there transfigured. Prayer always brings about an exalted or rapid radiation of mental energy. And when it is accompanied by faith, Peter, love, John, and judgment, James, there's a lifting up of the soul that electrifies the body, the raiment, the aura surrounding the body, shines with glistening whiteness. The presence of Moses and Elijah represents the two processes through which this picture of the purified man or mind is to be objectified or demonstrated in real life. The first is the mosaic or the evolutionary process of nature, through which there is a steady upward trend of all things. The evolutionary process is part of a spiritual plan for the redemption of the human race from its fallen state. So Noble Driver again coming back to get, fallen humanity, in the mental state of mind or mental slavery state of mind. But the Moors fell furthest. So when we get up, everyone will soon follow. Kind of like when we go into the mall and we have these boom boxes and we just start doing our thing and dancing. We're not hating. I'm not hating, but I'm just saying the influence that we have So we clean our mind up, we clean our actions up, you know, take our affairs amongst the men, take our affairs amongst the men amongst affairs, you know, things to get right in the quote unquote government that we say we want. So, you know, gotta get our mind right. And what was that? The other is the ability of the prophet, Elijah, or spiritual discerner of truth, to make conditions change rapidly over our breakfast. On the mental plane, to be endued, seasoned, worked out in substance. So that was the physical plane. Thus, we are told in the lesson that Elijah must first come and restore all things. The mind must first be set right through spiritual understanding, then comes the demonstration. You know what I'm saying? You got to get the keys, you know, before you get in the car. You can't just hop in the car and start pressing buttons and gas. You know, the gears are not even going to go anywhere. And that's kind of like your mind, you know, kind of like you jump into this information and trying to go places. You haven't even studied the right things. You don't have the foundation of etymology, you know, things of that nature, or, you know, the zodiac, just like common tools, like, you know, a screwdriver, a flathead, a hammer, but you can build a house with just those simple things. You can make something look like spectacular with just those small tools. So once your mind right, everything else will fall in place, you know, as above, so below. That should be nothing new to everybody. When you go outside, you know, light is shining from above. The light is going to be on the ground as well. So, you know, so you still want to push right here? Still pushing? Peter's proposing to erect 3 tabernacles carries out this idea of a substance manifestation for each, but Peter's ideas were vague as the process, hence the accompanying voice of the cloud. This is my beloved son, hear ye him. To tell no man or mind what things they had seen, save when the Son of Man should have risen again from the dead. You know, means that we shall not consider these mental pictures as real and so disgusting. They represent ideas that can be understood only when they are demonstrated in the rising mind or man. Because all of this is happening inside of you. Remember, like everything reading is happening inside of you first. Because if you don't get your mind right, then you can't demonstrate. You know, so like the mind first be set right through spiritual understanding, then comes demonstration. You know, simple mathematics there, guys. To tell no mind what things they have seen, and I've read that already. Means that we shall consider the mental pictures as real and so disgusting, and they represent the ideas that can be understood only when they are demonstrated in the rise of mind. These mental pictures refers to his visions, dreams, and all we see in our higher moments of illumination. So that'd be like 12th house type dealings, 10th house, like hopes. So 12th and 10th house type deals. Hopes and dreams. Get to harness those, like try to put together a house mentally when you go to sleep. You know, if that makes sense.
Once it's like
I'm here with you, brothers. I'm here. I just, you know, I had an emergency call, yo. Doing it. See, it wouldn't be an impromptu improv if I didn't have an emergency call, right? That's what makes it impromptu improv, guys. But you're doing great. Y'all doing guard, great. Bro. Huh?
I said you're always on guard, bro. You're always on guard.
Yeah, bro. You already know. In the life and times of a mufti. No, I'm kidding, sort of. Y'all joking. Right?
But yeah, I think Brother Benjamin, I want to say mind, body and soul is house 1, 4, and 8, maybe.
Mm-hmm. So you got mind, that's 8, body 4, body soul. So body is 1, first house. Soul 8th house. So yeah, mind 4th house. Yeah, because moon is mind. So 1, 4, 8. Or would be like 1, 4, 12, or like undoing. Maybe?
One sec, bro. I'm going. Okay, 159. 1 is body, 5 is soul, 9 is spirit, Islam.
Oh, okay. Oh, because soul, like SOL, sun, and the heart. I feel that. Yeah. And the subconscious mind is the heart as well. So I definitely feel that. That's be Jesus riding on the ass here, which is once again metaphysics. You don't want to think about your sky daddy riding an ass into Jerusalem. This ain't what is it? This ain't the palace. Foreign country. Bible times kings and rulers rode the ass, and this animal was accepted bearer of royalty. Well, why was the ass accepted bearer of royalty? The donkey. The man. In the man consciousness, the animal part is typified. It's typified by the ass, and is being written into the root. Like Jesus portrays the mastery by the I am of the animal nature in its manifestations. Quote, Jerusalem means habitation of peace and signifies spiritual consciousness. Oh, like, Jesus riding on an ass is basically you walking around everywhere.
Sounds like Sun in Cancer to me.
Yeah. Sun in Cancer.
Yeah, that's where the asses are. Aceli Borealis and Aceli Australis.
Yeah, and the crab's body is like on the sand. What do you think about it? But everything is like in the sand. That's probably why you just like step on like where sand is just like crab food. I'm kidding, but that's not possible. It's like diving in a community pool when you go to the beach and the crabs are there.
The way you do things, movement, is your ascendant. Jesus riding an ass sounds like the ascendant in Cancer. I'm just saying. No, that's not it. Because the asses are ass Ellie, right? The constellation, the northern ass and the south. Let's look them up. So it's
so I'm not just saying. Ass?
Right? Like literally, the northern ass and the southern ass. It'll be literally Aceli. Is the ass is short for Aceli, right?
That's true.
Go and search for it, bro.
Through here,
No. Go in your Safari or Google, right? And let's literally look for. You can put Aceli Borealis, ASSELLI Borealis. I might have. Let me see. I might have spelled that improperly. Acelus. Okay, so I obviously, did one S too many. And obviously I did another conjugation of Latin for some reason.
It could have been it at one point in time. Nothing new.
So it's the third brightest star in Cancer. What'd you say, beloved brother?
No, I was just giving you ups on your misspelling. I was like, that probably could have been a spelling, because it brought it up. So you were pretty close enough.
Yeah, indeed. Because I've seen it called Aceli Borealis at sometimes also. So it is what it is, right? Yeah. However, for our presentation here for everyone, right? Acelus Borealis, right? Gamma is the third Greek letter in the alphabet. You go and check your reference pertaining to the degree section in Encyclopedia of Astrology by Nicholas de Boer, and you check the Greek magnitude. And Gamma is the third magnitude. So the third brightest star in Cancer is the Ascelis Borealis. And then the fourth brightest star, the Delta Cancri. So Gamma Cancri is Asellus Borealis. Delta Cancri is Asellus Australis. So that's the northern ass and the southern ass. So when Jesus rode in on the donkey, sometimes it just sounds like, the sun and the ascendant were in Cancer at this time. It sounds like it's speaking about summer, a summertime sunrise, almost, when you think about how it's worded. Jesus, right? We know that can be looked at as the sun, right? Rode in, you're doing something, right? Riding. People might think road would be Mercury too, but Gemini is right next door. So he rode in on an ass, right? That's
summertime. Just ride on ass and rewind.
Y'all are hilarious. It's late today, and I ain't been on the court yet. Hustling the mall to get me. I would say a short set. Would it be a sandal set? To get me a sandal set? No.
You said give me a set.
To get me a thobe set? No. A kirta set? I don't know. Anyway.
That's the one.
A kirta set. The fourth brightest star in Cancer, right? Of course, is Asellus Borealis. Pardon me, Asellus Australis, right? So you're seeing those two. Who wants to read Asellus Borealis, the northern donkey?
I'll take that since Brother Benjamin did just get done. All right, so Asellus Borealis, the northern donkey, Delta. Asellus Australis is the southern donkey. Among the stars of Cancer is a small grouping appearing on the back of the crab's shell, which includes the Aceli or asses, along with Praesepe.
Praesepe, which is the beehive. Yo, when the beehive is active, that's when y'all be having like that pain in like the middle of your back, but under your shoulder blade. I will never forget one time, I forgot what was going on. I felt this pain in my back, and I was looking it up. I'm like, dang, why am I having this pain right in my back? And for some reason, I came across Praesepe. Like, it's really Praesepe. Praesepe, right? Because I want to make sure I'm looking at it, because the AE diphthong in Latin makes the I sound, because it's I. It's like, so I. So it's Praesepe, right? Right. So Praesepe, right? Praesepe. All right. So anyway, with that being said, yes, the 44th magnitude, obviously the M44, it's got to be the 44th magnitude as far as it's a cluster actually of little stars, which obviously must be some set of stars much further. It just is lining up with with it, but you can actually see it. It does kind of look like a beehive little cluster. And interestingly, though, I'm trying to remember what was transiting there. I wonder if it was the sun or something else. It might even been Mars. And I just had this back pain. What was funny is when I came across other Cancers, they were experiencing the same pain. I was like, looky, Astro Cookie. I said, and then once bro, I'm telling you, a lot of things is just simply astrological. A lot of things are transits. They're just transits. Okay, I yield. The beehive or manger. Oh, look, manger. Where was Jesus born again?
That's all right.
Was Jesus a Cancer? Let me stop. Like, because when you think about it, anyway, go ahead. I yield. I yield. I won't go there. Go ahead. I yield.
Indeed. All right. So the beehive or manger. Popularly, this configuration was known as the manger or crib in which Christ was born. It has been suggested that this is because Cancer was, quote unquote, the gate of man. They were the Greek onoi or asses of the 2nd century Greek astronomy polygamy.
Well, according to the 2nd century Greek astronomer Ptolemy. There you go. Correct. Where we get the Ptolemaic aspects, what they call the major aspects. Mm-hmm. Correct. But yes, I know before you usually say Ptolemy. and rightly so, actually. I mean, there's a freaking P there, bro. You know what I'm saying? However,
Silent like the G, huh?
our colleagues would say Ptolemy.
Totally. Indeed, the P is silent like the G. We ain't talking about lasagna.
Correct.
All right.
And when I say our colleagues, I do that with air quotes every time I say it. Go ahead. I'm just making sure for the record. All right.
All right. So did I say that right? They were the Greek Onoi.
Mhm.
All right. Or asses of the 2nd century Greek astronomer Ptolemy. And the Greeks, the Aceli or Asini. Acelis is a singular of the Latin.
There's the Aceli. It just got one S though. Okay, go ahead.
And now properly known as the donkeys. Other names were a resting place, ending of a stop, the Acelyne starlets. From page 111 of Star Names by Richard Hinckley Allen.
That's why sometimes if you go back now. That's why no. Go back to what you just read. Scroll up a little more right there. So that's why you see it says a resting place, ending of a stop. That means what? Something's about to start. Because if you end the stop, that means you must be about to start. It reminds me of when the 4th house in Horary is called the house of endings.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking the same thing. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So now you kind of see how that natural astrological energy to 4, Cancer and the moon. All righty. So yeah, because even at the end of a stop, which would be like right before the new moon. Right before the new moon, because that's kind of a stop of seeing the moon. But the ending of that stop is right when we, see that first sliver of moon reflecting the sun's light. Once it's past it is its first 12 degrees. Once it gets past those first 12 degrees, that first titi. All right. It's funny how the moon is associated with the term titi, and it rules the breasts, which are called titties. Just to put that out there. Right? Titi. Tithi. All right, just to show how, some more verbal connections are there. All right, I yield, beloved brothers. Islam.
Let's see. The Arabians similarly knew them as Al-Himrain, the 2 asses. Bailey and his Mystic of 1858 calls them the Acelian starlets. Acelyne.
Yeah, the Acelyne starlets.
Acelyne starlets.
Mm-hmm.
The Italian astronomer Riccioli's strange title, Elnatret, doubtless was from that of the lunar mansion Al-Nathra, which the Aceli, Delta Enceladus Australis, and this star Gamma Enceladus Borealis and Praesepe constituted.
What lunar mansion? Which
lunar
one?
Mansion Al-Nathra.
Hold on, I think Al-Nathra might be the 8th lunar mansion. Let me double check. It is either the 8th or 9th. Yes, I was right. It's the 8th.
8th.
The tip of the nose of the great celestial lion. Indicator star. Praesepe. It's spelled so many ways. And yes, there are different terms, but obviously Aceli is plural Latin. Acelus is singular Latin. All right. Acelus and Aceli. Okay. I yield, beloved brother. Go right ahead. Yes. Akra is that. Exactly. It definitely is that. Here's the oracle. Peace of greetings, beloved mother. I yield, y'all. Go and do your thing. I'm listening to y'all read.
Indeed. All right. In astrology, there were portents of violent death to such as came under their influence, while to the weatherwise, their dimness was an infallible precursor of rain, on which leaning thus enlarges. Quote, if fog conceals the Acellus to the northeast, high winds from the south may be expected. But if the southern star, this star Acellus Australis, is concealed, the wind will be from the northeast. Our modern weather bureau would probably tell us that if one of these stars were thus concealed, the other also would be. Inconspicuous though it be, the Babylonians used Delta, Achelous Australis, to mark their 13th ecliptic constellation Arku Shah Nangaru Shah Shutu, the southeast star in the crab.
13th ecliptic constellation to mark. Let me see that again. Inauspicious though it be, the Babylonians used the Delta, right, to mark their 13th ecliptic constellation. Okay, got it.
Indeed. And there we go. And Brown says that the Asili was Eta and Theta. Eta and Theta.
Yeah, Eta and Theta are, let me make sure I'm not looking at these 5th and 6th magnitudes in Greek. Eta is 7, Theta is 8. So 7 and 8. 7 and 8. Eta is the 7th brightest magnitude, is the 7th letter in the Greek alphabet, and Theta is the 8th. And it's funny because Theta kind of looks like an 8 without it being circular at the top and bottom.
Mm-hmm.
I yield.
Mm-hmm. Theta, Cancer, and Praesepe, were the Akkadian Gushir Kesta, the yoki or yoke of the enclosure.
Yeah, that's Akkadian. So yes, absolutely. Continue.
All right. They also mark the junction of the nakshatras, the Hindu moon mentions Pusha and Aklasha,
which is Ashleisha.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So, and even right there, they got 2 different spellings. You know what I mean, of Ashleisha, and they look like Aklasha. So you were spot on as far as what it looks like it has there, right? So, star names: The Lore and Meaning by Richard Hinckley Allen, in 3 years after Prophet Noble Drew Ali manifested in 1889, says what, bro? I'm listening. I'm all ears.
All right. Myth. A Greek myth tells us that these asses were written by Bacchus and Vulcan in the war between the Olympians and the Titans. The braying of these animals, aided and added to the god shouts, frightened a group of fierce giants who were coming to avenge their brothers, the Titans, to such degree that they fled the scene of the battle. The asses were placed in the heavens, flanking the mysterious glow called the manger or beehive.
Manger, but yes,
manger.
It does look like anger.
Yeah, manger or beehive. Magnitude 44, Praesepe.
Mm-hmm.
To make sure they never lack food. Let's go. Manilius alludes to these outstretched stars as a yoki.
Or a yoke, that goes on 2 bulls, and so it can help plow the land. Very animal husbandry sounding.
We got the Vulcan statue here, if I'm saying that right.
Really?
Like a guy with a boat in Birmingham. He's like looking over the city. It's like the Vulcan statue.
Yes, that's Venus's husband, according to the mythology. Vulcan is Venus's husband. Go ahead, I'm listening to you, bro.
Yeah, there's a guy with a boat in Birmingham. You can get inside of them and climb up the elevator and see the whole city. I've been there, but I ain't been in it. But that was like, okay, that sounds like the thing.
Well, that should let you know to look to Uranian astrology. You know what I'm saying, so you can grasp it even more. Because in what they call Uranian astrology is where they're using a lot of the fixed stars. A lot of the asteroids also, that's what it is, the asteroids, because Vulcan would be considered one of the asteroids as they call it within Uranian astrology. So, and that can be looked up too. Astrology King is not a bad resource on that, in my opinion, even though there are clearly other resources as we're reading right now. I yield the floor though. Islam.
Alrighty. The northern donkey is said to be male and the southern donkey female. All right, the lunar mansions, the Arabic Manzil al Nathra, the gap in
Manzil means mansion. Go ahead.
mansion. All right, the gap in the hair under the muzzle of the supposed immense ancient lion that the Arabs had here was chiefly formed by Parisa, but later Gamma, the star Acellus Borealis, and Delta, Acellus Australis, the Aceli were sometimes included. When it was Al Himmerin, the two asses, a title adopted from the Greeks. The Arabs also knew it was Al Fum Al Asad and as Al Amf Al Asad, the mouth and the muzzle of the lion, both referring to the early figure.
So muzzle is the tip of the nose. Because, you know, I know they're saying muzzle, and most people would think like, oh, the stuff that you would put over a dog, but again, it's like the tip of the nose. So the muzzle would be like, I guess, you know, the nose area of the lion. Because when we look in, you know, Gaia Talakim, Picatrix, it's showing that the eighth lunar mansion, Al Natra, it says the tip of the nose of the great celestial lion, which is a much larger lion that's basically going across, actually, I think the end of Gemini, all of Cancer, even into Leo, right? So there's a much larger lion that I think is represented by Rastafarians on that particular flag that you see a lot of Rastas, you know, when they're talking about the great celestial lion. However, I yield.
All right, the influences of the sixth Arabic moon mansion, Al Nathra, the gap or create.
Yeah, I said sixth right there, and we know it's the eighth. Continue.
Causes love, friendship, and society of fellow travelers, drives away mice, afflicts captives, and causes their imprisonment. All right, let's see.
If the moon transiting here
navigates.
So that means, and that's by Vivian E. Robson, obviously. Page 71. I'll take it from here, if you don't mind.
All right, go ahead, bro.
In the constellations with some slight variation as to boundaries and different times in Hindu astronomy, Gamma, and that's the letter, looks like the letter Y, that's a Gamma. This star, Acellus Borealis, and Delta, all right, it kind of looks like a curved letter D, I guess. Oh, it went
hot dog.
Okay.
But I learned that in elementary school, hot dog and hamburger.
Hot dog and hamburger. Wow.
I promise that was because it was folding paper, and I remember hot dog and hamburger.
Got you. Yeah. So the portrait is hot dog.
Yeah.
And this one is hamburger. Got you. I get that. Yeah. I actually comprehend that. That's not bad, bro. At all. That's actually pretty funny. All right. So the Aceli always being included and occasionally Eta, Theta, and Parisa was located the sixth nakshatra. So it's the sixth nakshatra, but it's the eighth lunar mansion according to how because we have 27. But when you're talking the manzils, which we should probably look up too, we should probably look up the manzils. But I wonder if the manzils are 27 or 28. That would be interesting, right? That's an impromptu improv kind of question. Pusya, flower, and Tishya, right? Or Tishaya, but I'll say Tishya. Auspicious. So flower, auspicious with Brihaspati. Brihaspati is Guru or Jupiter, the priest and teacher of the gods, right? As presiding divinity. Sounds like Prophet Noble. It was sometimes figured as a crescent, quote unquote, and again as the head of an arrow, quote unquote. It was also called Siddhaya. prosperous, quote unquote. Again, that's in Star Names by Alim on page 110. The influence of the 6th Hindu moon mansion. Okay, so when we're saying it, so earlier when I was like, see how it says 6, then we know it's the 8th. And Brother Sean was like, I'm gonna still keep reading though. And then yes, that's exactly what happened. Now we're clarified even more that we're speaking specifically on the 6th nakshatra, right? Because in when we're speaking nakshatras, even because that's the Hindu moon mansions, right? As they call it, the Hindu lunar mansions, as they call it, right? How the lunar mansions are identified at Hindustan, Paro, right? How are they identified? It's 28 of them in their identification. Here at the North Gate, it's 27 for some reason. So there, a mansion size is, pardon me, that's reversed. In the East, it's 28, it's 27 lunar mansions, 27 nakshatras at 13 degrees, 20 minutes per nakshatra. Each nakshatra or each lunar mansion, because it's only 27, pardon me, let me stand corrected. There's 27 so-called Hindu moon mansions in what they call Jyotisha. Some call it Vedic astrology, contemporarily speaking, because, you know, you can go into the Vedas with it. However, here at the North Gate, we have 28 lunar mansions. Here in the Far East, termed the Western Hemisphere, which is the American Hemisphere, North, South, and Central, right? Here it's 28 lunar mansions, and each mansion is 12 degrees, 51 minutes wide in span, so to speak, right? So that's how that works there. So that's just the information there. So in the 6th Hindu lunar mansion, Pusya, ruled by Saturn, a light asterism belonging to the, and that's actually pronounced Kshatriya. When they put the K before the SH, it has the CH diphthong. That's what I've learned so far about studying like Sanskrit or Hindi, you know what I'm saying, or different, you know, even in, you know, because sometimes when you're coming across Jyotisha, you'll come across Sanskrit, Hindi, and Tamil, Tamil, right? And you'll see these transliterations and things or whatever. So that's Kshatriya, caste, okay? So it's belonging to the Kshatriya class, which is the military and ruling order class, and favorable for sales, art, sculpture, learning, martial love. Pardon me, I said martial. Marital love, right? That's why, how can you say martial love? That's like Mars and Venus together. Marital, let's still see Mars there though. Marital love, which is probably still the same thing because martial is just the I and T transposed to get the word martial. Wearing of ornaments, medicine, and purchase of carriages when containing the moon. So it's like when the moon is there in that mansion, those are the things you probably should be doing. You know what I mean? So you want to sell something, do some art, some sculpturing, some learning, some marital loving, you know, some wearing of ornaments, you know, some medicine, right? Some medicine and purchasing of carriages. Oh, I'm about to get this wheel. Well, wait till the moon enters the 6th nakshatra kind of energy. Those born on the lunar day, I hopefully it's not, you know, a void of course though taking place. Anyway, those born on the lunar day will deal in barley, cereals, crops, will be ministers or rulers, and will live by water. The moon here at birth, native, will be popular, self-controlled, learned, wealthy, and charitable. Rules, houses, and the face or upper lip. Makes you want to get your hands on that Robson so you can learn some more. Like, oh, Stab, you're talking about the body when it comes to it, right? All right, Brother Benjamin or Brother Sean, either one. You guys want to continue right there on the astrological influence? We might read a couple of paragraphs from there, and then I want to go to my other point of what happened in our search. See how we just got into a rabbit hole of a question got asked. I brought up some charts. Then we brought up looking at some things. It went to Veritas, and I was like, oh, yeah, we could bring up Veritas. But look, I'm thinking about Metaphysical Bible Dictionary. Metaphysical Bible Dictionary, boom, now we're on this. Do you see how that rabbit hole happened? That's why I put it in the title. Seriously. I put Easter between the rabbit looking at the hole and the little chick coming out the egg. Because bunny rabbits don't lay chicken eggs. It's just the time that people will be getting very fecundative, if that's a word. Some coition. This is the remix edition of the song about coition. Okay, anyway. His style popping out my orange navigator. No, let me stop. Anyway,
pretty teeth. Guys, see the pretty teeth, guys.
What'd you say?
I was telling them to see the pretty teeth. You're taking something and seeing the pretty teeth in it.
Yeah, I that would probably make it. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. Because the upper lip.
Yeah, he says stuff.
Yeah, because the teeth you would normally, when people smile, you don't really see the bottom teeth. You see the top teeth. So right under the bottom lip, teeth. I can see that too. Just what we're saying right here. You know what I mean?
I'll read though. Nothing, anything else.
Yeah, I yield, bro. It's long.
Legend. This constellation represents the crab that bit the heel of Achilles. I hated that part of the movie.
Hold on, and this is for the astrological influence pertaining to the constellation Cancer. All righty, go ahead. I yield.
Yeah. During his fight with Lernine Hydra and was placed amongst the stars in gratitude by Juno, the enemy of Hercules. Robinson, page 33. That's a partial scene. Influences. Ptolemy's observations are as follows. The two stars in the eyes of Cancer are the same influence as Mercury and are almost moderately like Mars. Those in the claws are like Saturn and Mercury. By the Kabbalists, Cancer is associated with the Hebrew letter Zadi. I'd assume T silent or Tzadi.
Yeah. It's just Sadi. It's pronounced like Sadi. Sadi. Yeah. Kind of like a lisp. With a Z like with a lisp. Sadi.
Zadi.
It's kind of like how girls be like Zaddy, but not that. That's pause. That's pause worthy. But it's Sadi.
$5 sign. I got it. And the 18th tarot trump, the moon. I'm reading very aggressively. Robson, page 33. The astrological influence of the constellation Cancer given by Melanus, shining at the hinge of the year by the blazing turning point, which when we call the sun rounds in his course on high. The crab occupies a joint of heaven and bends back the length of the day. Of a grasping spirit and unwilling to give itself in service, the crab distributes many kinds of grain and skill in making profits. He enables a man or mind to carry his investments of foreign merchandise from city to city, and with an eye on steep rises in the price of corn, to risk his money upon the sea winds, to sell the world, to establish commercial ties between so many unknown lands. It sounds like a true hustler. To search out under foreign skies fresh sources of gain, and from the high price of his goods to amass sudden wealth with heaven's favor. He also sells seasons of ivory to his liking, wishing the swift passage of time to add to the principle. His is a shrewd nature, and he is ready to fight for his profits. Astronomica Manilius. Manilius. Appreciate that.
Yeah, Manilius. Millie Vanillius. No, I'm kidding.
No.
I'm kidding. It's Manilius.
Book 4, page 235. Period in brackets. The astrological influence of the star North Acellus and Acelli, donkeys. Legend. The Acelli, Latin for asses or donkeys, represent the asses ridden by Bacchus and Vulcan in the war between the gods and Titans. The braying of these animals so frightened the latter that they fled, and the gods in gratitude translated both the asses and the manger, Prosope, in heaven. Robson, page 141. Notes. Two straw-colored stars known as the North Acellus, Gamma Acellus, Borealis, and South Acellus. Delta Acellus, Astralis, from the Latin Acellus, a little ass situated in the body of the crab, Cancer. General influences of Acilli. According to Ptolemy, both the Acilli are the nature of Mars and the Sun. Both Alvidas states that the North Acilius and Acilius Borealis identified with Balaam's ass.
Yeah, Balaam. Some people would say Balaam, but continue.
It's like the Sun and Mars in sextile. The South alias Astralis,
yeah, Acellus, or Acellus.
Acellus Australis, called the mare ass or mar ass, a resting place.
No, it's mare because it's supposed to be female.
Heard that.
Because a mare, because a stallion ass is the northern ass. That's the male. That's a stallion. A male is a stallion. A mare is a female.
That's wild. That's wild for sure.
Mary, are you hearing? I don't think you're hearing it. Do you see where Mary is in the near the manger now? Even though we know Mary is Spica in Virgo and Joseph is Arcturus in Boots. However, you keep seeing these similarities, but you see why they wouldn't say, by saying female donkey instead of mare ass, it keeps you separated almost from making that connection. Like, oh, hold on, that's Mary. And they call Parisa Pie the manger? Then okay, then what's so then is the stallion Joseph? So you'll just see glimpses of these, especially in Cancer. When the more you go, that's why I wanted to go in on this, because I know this very well. I know this story and this explanation very well. So, however, it's like when you kind of look at it and start thinking, and then we do this wordy ties thing, bro. it really when people really see when we do astrology with wordy ties and start showing where they are in the so-called constellation stories, where it's actually happening within them and their consciousness, and basically it's letting you know what your mission is while you're here and what you're here to do. Like, man, it's a beautiful thing when you really go into these things. However, I yield the floor, beloved brother. Islam.
Sure. A resting place and the ending or stop, like the Sun, Mars, and Semi-square. Together they give care and responsibility with a charitable and fostering nature, but danger of violent death, serious accidents, and burns. Not to be doom and gloom there. I know that took a dramatic turn of, charity, and then it's like, whoa, let's ride down this road of, 8 house things. But, what is it? Truth and strangehood, falsely mixed?
Truth and falsehood are strangely mixed.
Don't worry about that, guys. Destiny unknown. So if, like Brother Hasan said earlier, if you looked and see what was actually happening, and then you got what was happening for you, you'll see that coming and prepared. Not saying like, oh, train will come hit me, so I gotta prepare to get hit by a train. Nothing like that. But
correct.
You'll know your purpose here while events are happening. Oh, that happened to me because of this, and I can use that because of this. And that's the experience. There's no mind knows by being told. And falling back to the general influence of North Alias, identified as Balaam's ass, It gives patience, beneficence, courage, and makes its native heroic and defiant leaders. That's wild. Heroic and defiant. So I guess you got to be defiant to be heroic, to like defiant to like things that aren't good for your people. I'll do that.
Better be Moabite, for real.
Yeah, especially amongst the Romans. Put you back in that manger. Okay. 2 asses outflank the manger. Precipice. This might be the origin, as seen in nativity pictures of the birth of Christ, of the positioning of a donkey always behind the manger. The 2 acilis correspond to the Sun and Mars. Both these fixed stars are therefore to count as a positive influence if in conjunction with the ascendant MC or stellar bodies of the same character, but especially if grouped with the Sun or Mars.
So this is why, to add to your wisdom very briefly, brother, this is why we're going to put the link for our presentation from Veritas last year in the description after this live. All right, I yield.
All right. These people will have an aggressive nature and will not take insults easily. They may, by their own lack of caution or even being daredevils, put their life in danger, and they will not hesitate to use brutal and violent means. When the acilis are with the ascendant, danger by large animals, horses, bulls may exist. Fixed stars in their interpretation. Elizabeth Edberton, 1928. Edberton.
Elsbeth. Beth is house. Els is lawmaker, lawgivers. The lawmaker, lawgiver's house. Okay, go ahead. I yield.
The baby born in the manger might relate to the idea of Cancer being in the gate of men or the gate of minds, according to the Chaldean and Platonist philosophy, through which souls descend from heaven into human bodies or into creation. Its opposite sign, Capricorn, represents the gate of gods, which souls depart ascended back to heaven. Oh, that's a video on YouTube of a mother explaining that like super vividly. She got all the constellations.
I think I'm back.
It's beautiful. The patient donkey is a lovable creature, but it can be very self-willed and unoperative indeed, at times of its own choosing. The Acily, this star, and the other donkey, Acilis, Astralis, display all the moodiness of Cancer and its most negative in while in Leo. In conjunction with the Moon, Mercury, Venus, and or Neptune, well aspected, will often reveal the poet, painter, musician, unusually gifted composer, psychic, medium, or astrologer. In all cases, too, there is a patience for which the donkey is respected, a quality necessary for all really reliable psychisms. Perhaps when the donkey is being stubborn, he has seen something in the path which he is impatient master cannot or will not see, the living stars. Dr. Eric Moor.
Yes, that was psychism. Continue.
Psychism. Appreciate that, folks. Acily, rising. Burning fever, bad eyes, blindness of left eye, injuries by beasts, quarrel, slander from low women or vulgar persons, martial.
Marital. Oh, no, that is martial that time. Goodness gracious.
Well, that's it. Yeah. That's wow. That's I'm not gonna front. That's like next to something. But I hit my like eye or something in my.
What'd you say? You said that's weird. Like what?
Like I have a lazy eye, but only because when I was smaller, my father threw me under a car. Not to like put business out there like that, but I was like a short or something. And there's something in my chart like about that. And I want to say it's like something like that, but I don't want to say it's rising. But there's something in my chart about eye. And I was kind of like, wow. I was like, oh.
Oh yeah, astrology is real and it's serious business, honestly.
That's for sure.
Well, if it's culminating, you know,
yeah,
the meridian.
Disgrace and ruin, often violent death. It's just seeing through real guy, but we all put our big boy pants on here and big girl pants.
Yeah, well, that's according to Robson, you know, back when he was doing whatever. That doesn't mean, see, the thing is, this is why we're going to go into the wordy toss in a bit, because we got to remember that the plates that we're looking at in astrology that we're going off is because, you know, we got to go back and check to make sure there hasn't been a whole shitload of alterations. And then it's like, sometimes, you know, you got that, ooh, don't pay attention to the man behind the curtain type stuff, right? So now it says a celly culminating, disgrace and ruin. I don't know. You would have to really see and observe when, you know, that part of, you know, the sky appears to be approaching the midheaven, so to speak, or the highest part in the sky, or even the lowest part in the sky. When you're talking the meridian, you're also including the fourth house. So, but they will say anti-culminating as if it was like, you know, opposite, you know, being, you know, in the 10th house going to the 9th or whatever, because crossing the midheaven would be, you know, crossing over from the 10th to the 9th. Whereas in, you know, anti-culminating, as it's called, would be from the 5th to the 4th. I mean, it'd probably be from the 4th to the 3rd. So, yeah, let's wrap this up though. Let's see what we got left here. Go ahead, I yield.
Silly with sun, blows, stabs, operations nowadays, serious accidents, shootings, shipwrecks, beheadings, hanging, murdered, violent fevers, danger of fire, disgrace, and imprisonment. Robson again. Acilius Borelius with sun, favorable for dealing with the public and influential people, business success. Robinson, page 142. Silly with the moon, inflammatory fever, pains in the head, blindness. Robson once more. Acilius Borealis with moon, favorable for material success, honor through public positions, help from friends, favorable for gain, danger of accidents to the head, fevers, inflammatory alignments, and heart weakness.
Ailments. Yeah, that was ailments, bro.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, according to Velo, right? According to Velo, the Chinese gave this group of stars, right? So this is another author, astrological author or observer, right? Another observing astrologer. The Chinese gave this group of stars, the asses and the manger, the Aceli and the Proserpine, the name, the spirit of the ancestors. See, that's why I say it, man. Sometimes you just got to keep looking at stuff. Some things try to scare you away, but you keep reading. You're like, hold on, wait. What? Now it's going to have you checking. Let me do a little bit of Chinese zodiac studies too. You know, we're professional astrologers, so eventually we're going to be looking at any and everything as far as when it comes to astrology. One, just to see what it is, because, you know, our mindset is where we are in our head and stuff. You see what I'm saying? Well, there's somebody that wants their calendar, obviously. Where we are in our head, you know what I mean, when it comes to things or whatever. So spirit of the ancestors. It's so funny because now you would think, like, does this mean if you're a tropic Cancer, that's where it is? Like, where would it be in the tropic chart? Because when you're talking constellations at this point, this constellation's got to be in Gemini. I'm almost sure of it. Let me check the 1920. Hey, before we get into that Velo portion, because earlier I had mentioned numbers 22. Hold on. Let me make sure I'm doing this properly. Because I have the 102 open. Let me open up the 101 and make sure it's numbers 22 and 23, right? Because we're talking about Lent, right? And how it's looked at and things of that nature. So let me make sure it's 22 and 23 because Lent is considered a holy time for holy days, you know, and the holy day pertaining to Easter as it's termed, right? So 22 and 23 is, which is our holy day? That's the question. Answer, brothers.
Friday.
All right, and 23 is why, and the why is what we're going to clarify for me. All right, so my brother's asking me why.
Why, Brother Hasan?
Because Friday, because Friday is the day on which man was formed in flesh, and it was on Friday when he departed out of flesh. All righty, you get that, man. The phone is hot today. All right, I yield, guys.
Are you
Go ahead.
speaking in another voice now?
Yeah,
do your thing on Velo.
That was like the coming out of flesh. That wasn't the hoe. That was
Indeed.
I think there's one of those like little call thingies where people don't say anything or they call and stuff, or
But they have that delay 5 seconds.
this is a recorded message type energies, or somebody may see us live. They may see us live just to see if we'll answer the phone. Like impromptu improv is real. You know what I'm saying? But usually I don't answer numbers that I don't recognize anyway. You know what I'm saying? I don't normally do that, but at sometimes I do because it's been like an emergency call kind of day, right? So it's like, let me see. But anyway, look, they haven't even hung up yet. That's weird. You ain't hang up or say hello. Look. You see that? We're tiny. Now they hung up. That's Looney Tunes.
I guess they haven't accepted Jesus Christ as their Lord and Savior.
I know, right? If you got hate in your heart, let it out.
It said, you got hate in your heart, let it out.
We're here to learn to love instead of hate. You need to let that hate out your heart.
Yeah,
all right. So I yield, beloved brothers.
We're yielding on this to get back to what you were going through before.
Well, yeah, because I do.
Let's see.
Yeah, let's finish it. Let's see, because I know it's pretty long or whatever. Maybe we could tell the people what website it was. Oh, that's the end of it right there.
Yeah, it is going through, I guess, the rest of the planets.
Constellationofwords.com. Finish that, guys, because we're preparing for a Señor Jackson Bey to come in, to be very honest with you. So that's what it's going to be. Right, because he did say a little after 8 he's actually traveling, coming from an engagement that he had. Next Friday, though, guys, we will be live with Señor Jackson Bey sharp at 3:40. All right, that's when we're going to go live. So I had, be patient with me, guys, and thank you for your patience on the communication given by Señor Jackson Bey. Actually, because he's letting us know. Oh, I got to bring Brother Benjamin back in on Q2. So let's see. I see now that we're back here. Let me add Brother Benjamin back to the spotlight. Alrighty, so there we go. All right, so now we got mixed up again because my Wi-Fi went out, his Wi-Fi went out, but it is what it is. So let's do this streaming thing that we're doing. Alrighty, so when I go to share my screen, let's bring up and let's continue on our fantastic voyage. Slide, what we're doing right here. Alrighty, and bring back up where we are right here, right? And we were speaking on Lent. Right. And so I guess what I could do is go right here to edamonline.com and give, as promised, the denotation to liturgical. Right. So let's see what liturgy is. Right. Around the 1550s. Right. Liturgy. It is a noun. 1550s liturgy. Quote, the service of the Holy Eucharist. All righty. I know. Y'all like, what is a Eucharist? Right. Let's find the etymology for Eucharist, right? I know it's there, right? It's late Middle English, French, Eucharist. Based on ecclesiastical Greek, Eucharistia, right? Thanksgiving. From Greek, Eucharistos, right? Y'all see that? Eucharistos. Y'all see that, right?
And
Christos. Y'all see that, right? Okay. Grateful. From you. Well. Charisestai. Offer graciously. From charis. Grace. So this is when you see people doing the grace ministry, unfavored, that unmerited favor. You can't earn it. It's grace, right? So that's where you guys are getting a little bit of didactic lessons here, right? As they would say it in some spiritual arenas. Anyway, let's continue here on animonline.com. Eucharist now, quote, sacrament pertaining to the Lord's Supper, comma, the communion, end quote, right? So it's kind of cannibalistic because that's where you're supposed to be taking the wafer or the bread as the body of Christ, and then the wine is the blood, right? That seems very very cannibalistic, right? I was about to say Kabbalistic. I don't know. Are some of you Kabbalists doing that? I know, man. I'm definitely not. But then again, I can't be called a Kabbalist, right? Because we're the mothers and fathers of civilization, right? We're the mothers and fathers of civilization. So, mothers choose sons to, have that process of having more human beings on this planet. So, that's what we're here for. That's why we're Muslim. We're ancient. All right. So continuing, sacrament pertaining to the Lord's Supper, comma, the communion, end quote, mid 14th century, from Old French, Eucharist, right? From late Latin, Eucharistia, from Greek, Eucharistia, Thanksgiving, quote, Thanksgiving, gratitude, end quote. Later, quote, the Lord's Supper, end quote. From Eucharistos, quote unquote, grateful, from you, well, quote unquote, CEU, oh, like you rope. So you roping in well, some people, right? Let's rope them well. Let's bind them well, right, in this area. No? Okay.
Yes.
Plus the stem of charistai, show favor, right? Unmerited favor, grace, unmerited favor, to show favor, to give something that someone didn't earn, but you're still giving it to them as if they did earn it. That's called grace, right? Show favor, quote unquote, from charis, quote, favor, comma, grace, end quote, from Proto-Indo-European root, gir, which is the prefix, the second sense, quote, to like, want. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want, right? Because want is lack, right? Okay, anyway, that's a Psalms 23, right? We're just, guys, at the end of the day, you got to go to the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary and Veritas so that you can comprehend this and not be under the spell of belief and worshiping imaginary things that are really inside of you. Levels of consciousness.
Yeah, it's like in the 2 feet, and you're like, what about the splash? And then you extend your legs, your knees and stuff. And then God, I'm kidding, but then you stand up and you're like, man, that wasn't too bad. That really wasn't
right. It's only 2 feet of water, right?
Yeah.
Just
Stand up.
It's a shallow grave, okay? Just stand up.
Extend your knees.
grab the lion's paw and put your feet on the 45. We'll grab you and stand you upright. All right.
Astro bars. Astro story bars.
I just want to tell the truth. It's no future in fronting, right? All right, so here we go.
Paul, give me that one.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying. That shallow grave of Negro black colored. I'm telling you, all you got to do is stand up. There's 2 feet of water, 2 feet of maritime law. What you say?
Yeah, like,
I said put the they live glasses on.
Basically, or take the conjunctivitis off their eyes. That's pink eye when it kicks all
seen
up.
that wall with the book, and then there's people behind it, and then one book, and then it's like 2 books and stuff on a crate. I don't know if y'all seen that, but they're trying to seal the wall. There's like more science in that last one when the person can see clearly over the wall with all the stuff. It kind of elevates you, and then it goes down in like degrees. So
correct. They were showing the difference between equality and equity in that meaning.
Yeah. So the Negro black color kind of at the
right.
Looking directly.
Whoa, are you guys still hearing me? Because I'm not hearing Brother Ben.
I heard both of y'all actually.
Yo on the mic.
All right, that was me then.
All
right, that's me
again.
Trying to get me. Yeah, because we're flowing.
That picture in my head. I was like, that's what it looks like. Staring right at the wall.
Islam. All right. Well, to like, want, quote unquote. Eucharisteo is the usual verb for, quote, to thank, to be thankful, end quote. in Septuagint and the Greek New Testament. All righty. So that's what it is in the Septuagint or Septuaginta, right? The 70, because Septuagint means 70, 70, and the New Greek Testament, right? That's how you guys can go and see how those are written. That's why I tell people always look at different versions of the law books. The law books are the holy books. The holy books are the law books. Look at different versions. My favorite two versions of the Helios Bibliothèque, contemporarily called the Holy Bible, is Robert Young's literal translation and the Amplified. Those are my two favorite. Then in third place comes the Geneva 1599, because you can find Blackamoor all in there, or more of some sort all in there. So you actually get to see how, Blackamoor is written with a lowercase b, but a capital M. So, you'll see, you guys will see, even when you go to look up the term in the dictionary, you'll see that they're showing you that the blaka is the descriptor, the modifying adjective, and Moor is a proper person noun because it has a capital M, and everything else posted is lowercase. Are you guys hearing me? Still seeing me?
I can hear and see you, bro.
Excelente. So now, with Brother Benjamin's question that started us down this rabbit hole. And I was like, okay, so what's the origin? And then we were here, right? And Brother Sean was letting us know, what's going on as he was reading this portion, and the date, right? It's still 2 days short, right? They're saying it's 43 days, right? It's 2 days short of the full moon, because we're going to show you this. But it's 3 days over what they're saying it is. They're saying Lent is 40 days. This is not 40 days. This is 43 right here. And then we're going to show you that 2 days later is the full moon, which is the day before. And this Saturday, the Saturday before, as you can see, Easter is called Lazarus Saturday. So on Lazarus Saturday at 26 degrees 45 minutes will be the full moon. So the moon will be at 26 degrees 45 minutes Virgo. The sun will be at 26 degrees 45 minutes Pisces on Lazarus Sunday. All right. Easter Triduum, right? So it ends on Easter Triduum, which is Western, and on the Friday before Lazarus Saturday, right? So they're saying Lent ends those 2 days, right? So Lent is ending on that Friday. So that's Good Friday, right? As it's called, correct?
Correct.
So now we're having an impromptu, investigation. Brother asked the question. Let's see where does the rabbit hole take us? Right? Especially since we're talking about, Lent, which is 40 days prior to Easter. However, we can see that it's happening for 43 days long, because Ash Wednesday begins when? On second.
Second.
Right? It's right here. Wednesday, March 2nd, 2022. Where we're seeing at 12:34, right? At that time, which was 9 days ago, 12:34 afternoon, right? So 34 minutes after high noon, there's a conjunction at 12 degrees 6 minutes between the sun and moon. So there's a new moon there. All right. Now that's taking place, right? Because then you read earlier about the temptation of Jesus. And when you went to that second page, it said something about eclipsing something and all of that, right? Yep. That's a clue that it's a new moon that marks Lent. So this is where I'm going. The new moon in Pisces marks the beginning of Lent.
And that's what we went over Monday. Intuition Monday. I wasn't there because I was under my Piscean 12th house dealing in my 5 years. I was definitely in dreamland on that. For sure.
He was worried. He was dealing with the what's
yeah, it's like 87 messages about it. I was like, I'm alive, guys. Wow.
That wasn't this Monday. That was a few Mondays ago, right? That was 2
Monday
Mondays
before.
Yeah, this Monday you were good. 2 Mondays ago it was me and Brother Sean.
Yeah.
Absolutely. No,
sure.
You're good, bro. It's all good, man.
And I didn't try to get that clip when you were like eclipse. You said it twice. Because I went into the actual Noble Drawley meeting to get that, clip that I put up. And it's kind of wild that I just asked about like the Lent thing. I end up posting about Lent by posting up the clips about or Jesus, and then the body being the devil.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, wow, because
personality. Yeah, the personality.
Oh, yeah, the devil being the personality.
Yes.
Man,
yes. Oh, because you're referring to what you shared from that, and that's when I was.
Yeah, and I wasn't trying to like, but just I was like, oh, this seems like a great clip,
That was the end of June, because that was right after I caught the sixth being I helped to make in my hand. So yeah, that was that.
Yeah, so you were in
that was in the June.
Hospital room as well. I want to say you were.
Well, no, we were at the hotel because it was a at home manifestation, quote unquote. So yeah, midwife and all that stuff. So yeah, we were at that. I think it was a hotel actually. That's the Comfort Inn that we had that manifestation in.
Oh,
yeah, that's where I caught that young mother in my hands. So at that time, so yeah, I even listened to when I listened to that video, I was like, man, that was a whole different energy because my voice frequency was different also then. Like seriously, you know what I mean? I was like, that's a little. So I see the difference in energies then and now, right?
It's thick.
It's amazing almost, right? All right. However, here we go. In continuing, I appreciate my beloved brothers in whom I'm well pleased. Here, guys, where we're looking at on the, it's saying that it ends on Eastern Triduum, right? Well, Easter Triduum, right? So wouldn't that be 3 days before Easter? On the Friday, all right, Lazarus. But that's why I said April, right? So that is Triduum, right? It's 3 days before Easter because Easter's the 17th this year. The full moon's on the 16th. So the vernal full moon's on the 16th. So technically, yes. So it's Thursday for the Western world, but for the Eastern world, it's Friday. So for the outer world, it's Thursday, Thor's day. For the inner world, it's Venus day. All right. Which led me next to go, So I put Lent, it's supposed to be Lent starts. That's what it's supposed to be. It's supposed to be starts, right? And is Lent based on the moon? Each year, the Lenten season is determined by the liturgical observance of Easter Sunday, which is the moving Christian holiday. The date can't be fixed since Easter always occurs on the first Sunday after the Paschal or Pascal, which is the vernal full moon. So the first full moon after the vernal equinox. The first full moon after vernal equinox. So the first Sunday after the vernal full moon.
Wow.
Is Easter. So you can't have, everything is based on cosmology in some way, shape, or form. And I'm not speaking, against what CM Bey has published, alrighty, in our Clock of Destiny. Because when I say astronomy and astrology, I'm looking at them based on where things are being said mathematically, astronomy, and the astrology is the interpretation pertaining to how the influences pertaining to these movements affect human life, so to speak, or affect our affairs here on Earth. All right. So mathematics and coordinates, right? Knowing where things are, and then what they interpret to be or to mean, right? So then further, I was like, Easter is the first Sunday after, and so you guys can see this. Easter falls on the first Sunday after the full moon date based on mathematical. Look, see, I just say something about mathematical calculations that falls on or after March 21st. If the full moon is on a Sunday, Easter is celebrated the following Sunday.
Like Allah alone leads the more divine national movement. It's like you don't know you're being led, but you're being led. Because without that, there's no without those mathematical,
You can't even observe your dogma belief systems.
Yeah.
Without astronomy and astrology in some way, shape, or form. You can't do it. However, CM Bey did say, oh, I'm about to do it. Because brother Terrell Tamari Bey has shared it. Did he not?
Oh,
Did he not? If I'm not mistaken, I'm opening up Clock of Destiny book 1 here. Right.
Cool.
Right. So it's like literally after the keynote of wisdom. I think I should do this for the people. Let's bring this down real quick. Right. Let's do this for the people. I think you guys would enjoy this actually. All right. Hopefully they can see this, right? Hopefully. Should I turn my screen around? Right.
Like,
I wonder if I should turn my screen around while doing this, right? Señor Jackson Bey is in the building virtually. He's in the meta building.
the meta building. Islam, man. Islam, bro.
Islam, bro. Wait for you to bring your camera. Oh, your camera is on. Let me hold on. Boom. And add spotlight. All righty. There we go. Brother Señor Jackson Bey is here. He's been traveling and has been very patient with me because I was like, man, thank you. I know next Friday we're going to be on at 3:30. I'm already being zoomed with the title ready. As soon as he comes in, I'm like, all right, we ready. Are you ready? No, but we'll already be live already. So by the time you come in at 3:40, bro, it'll be just like how you're coming in now. So, hola, mi hermano. Indeed. So just real quick before we go in and with Señor Jackson Bey, guys, because this is who I'm saying you guys want to hear about the curriculum pertaining to Moorish Latin and things of that nature, right? So this really works out, but this astronomy and astrology portion, right? How is that translating on the interwebs? Is somebody still monitoring YouTube? Is someone still monitoring YouTube? Because if I have to unspotlight us all, I will do so and then respotlight.
Okay. Yeah, I see it, but you may want to put it on the big screen because then you just can see like.
Let's do that. Let's big screen it, right? So this is what I'm going to do here. Let me, and then we're going to get started with Señor Jackson Bey after this. So let me make this one the host again.
Yeah, it looks like that,
right? And okay, got you. Yeah, it's 6 screens. That's what I thought. That's how it's looking, right? So I want to make sure that the people can actually see this. So let me remove all the spotlights real quick, guys, except the one where I want to show the book. All righty. So let's do that. And then I'm going to bring everybody's spotlight back. So keep your cameras on. All righty. And let's get that going. And what I will do is I'm going to bring this up real quick, and then we're going to get right to Señor Jackson Bey. Astronomy and astrology. Well, astrology and astronomy. The difference between astrology and astronomy is that astrology treats of human characteristic, talent, action, and reaction, sociology, economics, and global geography, or space and time. Astronomy is the priest, pope, bishop, rabbi, preachers, duke, duchess, queens, kings, and Anglo-Saxon lords code of the Christian world, of whom propagates the myth culture of heaven in the sky and hell below after death. The Christian astronomers are the stargazers who go to heaven, quote unquote, by way of an expensive telescope and promulgate that which they imagine live on the planets Mars, Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, Moon, and Venus. Such philosophy definitely cannot help our economic and social problems. The real moon and sun are under our feet, namely Earth. The powers of the moon and sun dwell in woman,
Now you can draw your own conclusions as to why astrologer and astronomy conflict.
Well, why is Hasan? Why he's got a telescope? But because that's actually, I'm telling you guys to look east. If you pay attention to where it's going, that's within. Man, there's method to all my madness. If it's madness in your eyes, I don't look at it as madness. I look at it as sincerity, based on my studies. So that's what I wanted to see. You're not saying too much about that microscope, though, over here, though, are you? You gonna say something about that telescope? Because CMB said this and CMB said that. If you're really paying attention and you can really discern what CMB is actually saying, guys, it's a little different than what you think, right? Why do you think we're sharing the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary and Veritas? So you guys don't be under the spell.
And they had y'all in like that Chris Brown song, like, you're shooting outside the club, you can't even get in. Like Hasan is like letting you guys in the club right now.
Yeah, because I mean, why be under the hypnosis of Christian astronomers?
Yeah, they got you outside.
I'm not
the club,
knocking them.
Like in the cold weather, like yeah, woo, and they're inside the club, like oh man, it's warm inside. You know, experience everything out. He's like opening the door, letting you guys in. Like hey, come inside. Like you only got experience from the outside. You can experience from within.
And we can transmute these energies, right? However, I'm gonna leave it right there. Astrology erases all beliefs and opinions of superstition, confusion. Right? Are we seeing this? Like we have got to be seeing this.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Indeed.
Astrology erases all beliefs and opinions of superstition, confusion, religious mystery, false fear, and idol or image worship. Astrology has always involved this universal simple fact, namely, woman and grown sons. In the course of 1 second, can observe the moon, sun, stars, earth, and themselves without employing a telescope. That sounds like sex. Or it sounds like just be around each other, have a conversation type energy. Therefore, woman and grown sons comprise the supreme manifestation of the whole of creation. Space and time, which need no doctrine of religious mystery, fear, and superstition to influence them to employ that which is right, because the science of astrology, woman, suns, earth, water, air, heat, and food constitute the great force of creation, often referred to in science as electromagnetic current and voltage, or atomic, energy. Remember, the human body and mind and earth contain all elements of nature. So we're just walking zodiacs. We're freeborn master masons and Eastern stars, and don't have to go to a building or a group to be made over at all. You don't. Look, that's why our tassels. Look, it ain't pinned down. Look. Look, it moves and it's not pinned down. Look at that's what it does. That's what it does when you're a freeborn master mason and Eastern star, because we're master mother sons. And they are the stars that are within, that have other stars within them that are us. Oh yeah, we're going all the way in. So that's that. I'm just going to leave that there. You guys go and check out your Clock of Destiny, Volume 1, your Master Key of Civilization, the 12 Signs of the Zodiac. That's Muhammad. Anybody ever wanted to see a picture of Muhammad? I don't mean to piss off any Muslims today, but hey, this is what it is. That's Muhammad. That's the picture of Muhammad. Get used to it. Don't get upset about it.
And peace be upon you.
Yeah, peace and blessings be upon, Muhammad right here. Because that's Muhammad right there. Period. I don't care. I'm mad with him. They're blaspheming against that. No. Hush, baby, and read.
Do we have to go to Clock of Destiny book 2 before we get to Señor Jackson Bey? Just real quick, let's find that picture real quick. Let's find Muhammad in let's see, I think it's Clock of Destiny book 2, if my memory suits me properly here. Let's see. Golly cheaper, Scooby. Let's see. Is it here the diagram? So this diagram is symbol of the earth revolving around the sun. Hold on, let me make sure it's in here too. Hold on, because he got it right here as one thing, right? Clock of Destiny. But I want y'all to see where it says, this is Muhammad. Oh, here we go. It's actually in Clock of Destiny book 1. That's amazing, right? But I just remember seeing this picture twice. So they give you like what it is in Clock of Destiny book 1, and it just goes extended in Clock of Destiny book 2, right? Yeah. Right. I got these from rvbaypublications.com along with my Zodiac Constitution, right? Even though you guys can go to Library of Congress and get the certificates for that, right? Zodiac Constitution, right? General and permanent character, AA 222141, dealing with United States Code 22, Title 22, Chapter 2, sections 141 through 143, and Circle of Life, right? Got these from RV Bay Publications, right? Treat yourself. So here we go. Just real quick, and then we get to Señor Jackson Bey, right? Check this out. Boom with the shaka and the lakas right here, guys. Look at that. The cut above constitute the real book. That's the cut, right? The above cut, right? Man, it's a capital C. Constitutes the real book, the Holy Quran, quote unquote. Also, the real picture of Muhammad. Boy, man. Boy, when you go back and look at the back of your 101 now, look at the back of your 101, and you see what Prophet Noble Drew Ali put there, and you hear certain Moorish Americans say, Prophet Noble Drew Ali ain't bringing the sun, moon, and stars, Mo. You can't tell me that when I know the Moorish American prayer in chapter 1. You can't tell me that. I know better. Even to the point where that's why they be like, CM Bey, he got kicked out. No, he didn't. No, we are not running schism plays here. We're not going to do the schism. We're going to show you the above cut constitutes the real book, the Holy Quran, quote unquote, also the real picture of Muhammad. The Muslims have never painted the picture of Muhammad in the likeness of a son of a woman. The Muslims have never painted. Didn't Prophet Noble Drew Ali call us Muslims? It sounds like CM Bey is saying the same thing Prophet Noble Drew Ali said, because couldn't he just say Muslims? Or couldn't he just say Black Masons? But that's not who he was. He didn't sell us out. Charles Mosley Bey is the defender of the faith and Moorish constitutional lawgiver. Never forget that. Let's look here. All righty. And continuing, and then we're going to get right to brothers, Señor Jackson Bey, right? Boom. The Muslims have never painted the picture of Muhammad in the likeness of a son of a woman. Such painting is of the Christian artists of deception. Having read the complete geography of the 12 signs of the zodiac, the above symbols of the earth revolving around the sun gives you a tangible illustration of latitude, north and south equator, right? So it's like, if you guys got closer on it, you could literally see like a month being said also. Like, that's April. That's May. And it's like 30 degrees, 60 degrees, 90 degrees. So it's showing you that where the energies of the sun is hitting. Look, I can count these joints. If I counted this, you guys would actually see something. That energy coming from the sun is hitting a certain part of the earth. Then when the earth goes to the next part, see how it's hitting that next line right here? See that little line right there of latitude? That's where it's hitting next. Then that third line right here at the equator, look, that's hitting it next. That's why it's coming up on summertime. You see, so CM Bey is yo, y'all see Muhammad? Peace and blessings be upon him, right?
And that,
you think I'm playing? I'm not playing. If you're offended, you can leave. You can leave. You can leave. You don't have to be here. You don't have to look. You don't have to, think you're going to get 72 versions by trying to blow up my YouTube channel. If that's your belief system, I'm not knocking it, but you can go believe that somewhere else. Because we're not going to budge from that. We're not going to, oh my God, it's people here that believe stuff that's not true and we should just stop telling the truth. No. And I mean it. Okay, let's cue everybody back in. Where's Señor Jackson Bey? Let's bring in our guest first. Señor Jackson Bey. There's my beloved brother. Señor Jackson Bey, this is about to be all you, bro. I want you to talk to the people, tell them what it is. However, let me bring in the other broski doskies, right?
Indeed.
Edge Sputzlates. Right? I'm just going to leave it like that for now. I'm not going to crowd the screen. Let's just leave us right there. We'll leave the other 3 screens in the background or whatever, right? And last but not least, to just finish up before we have Señor Jackson Bey tell us all about the genius curriculum making that he's been, or preparation that he's been doing. The last in our search, what we had did was after that, I was like, okay, so what is Ash Wednesday, right? Because I just wanted to, go back to that, So, it says, often called Day of Ashes, Ash Wednesday starts Lent by focusing the Christian's heart on repentance and prayer. Oh, they're renewing their mind. Okay, this is the time to do it. You don't have to believe anymore. We done shared CM Bay with you too to show you guys don't have to believe anymore. All right, but anyway, yeah, so just kind of showing you like what that is there, guys. You know what I'm saying? Ash Wednesday is a Christian holy day of prayer and fasting. It is preceded by Shrove Tuesday and falls on the first day of Lent. Ash Wednesday is traditionally observed by Western Christians outside, without Christians, right? Just saying that respectfully, guys, so that you can see. And last but not least, that makes us go into things like this so you guys can see where, when Ash Wednesday is happening, right? Where is it happening? And I just brought this up just very briefly, the Celestial Atlas, right, by Alexander Jameson, right? And if this just kind of just hurries up, I can just show you this one page very quickly, and then we're done on this topic. I didn't even go into Veritas like I thought I was going to. I was going to read the introduction to Veritas, but I'm not going to hold up Señor Jackson Bey any longer. I just want to show you guys this last portion here so you can see how I got this ruler, running through the center of the ecliptic pole, right, to where on the ecliptic where March 2nd ends up at, which is roughly 12 degrees Pisces. But I want you to see how at this point, the sun is literally in the middle of the stream of water being poured out by the constellation Aquarius. So where this water is being poured out, when the sun hits here, this is when the people are deciding to fast. Interesting, right? That's what I'm just thinking, right? And so since they have, expensive telescopes and this is the way they use, this is their code of controlling people. Great. Let's dissect the code, right? So technically, if I want to show you guys first. Let me actually zoom in right here, right? And pick this real quick. Let me take the ruler away and pick this real quick so you guys can see, right? Where that 28 is right there, that's actually 1. The dotted line is 28. So that's March 1st. So this would be March 2nd right here where I'm circling. That's March 2nd, all righty? So make sure you guys get a load of that's March 2nd, because if we count from 25, right? 25, pardon me, let me actually go back so you guys can see. This is where 25 is, 26, 27, and like I said, that's 28th February, all righty? Just wanted to make sure what about if it's a leap year? It's all good, guys. We're good, no worries, right? So now, let's bring it back in, right? Because I want to go from the center of the ecliptic pole, right? Because we're working on the ecliptic out there. That's where the dates are and the stuff right there, and that's where the sun is. So let's bring it to the center of the ecliptic pole, right? And put that right there also, right? Boom shakalakas. Let's draw okay, we'll stick with the orange line here. Let's stick with the orange line. Let's draw the orange line. Boom, right through it, right? Because what I want to see is what stars are lined up with that section. What is that line running through? And you can look at all the little so-called, look, it's running through the neck of the little hydra, the tail of the toucan, the wings of the phoenix. And now I'm going from the center. It's running through the chest of the apparatus sculptrice, right? So the sculptured apparatus right there. So it's running through that. And like I said, it's running through Eridanus. Eridanus is that stream being poured out by Aquarius, guys.
Like washing out, or, washing and baptizing the mind almost.
See. So the repent. So you see how they're renewing and repenting and baptizing because the water. Remember, baptism is a washing of your mind and a renewing of. Oh, that sounds like brainwashing. Well, if your brain's dirty, it sounds like you need to bathe in Eridanus, right? It's just what it's sounding like, right? Huh?
The Eridanus brain soak, or am I saying that right?
Basically, right? We're gonna watch. Somebody's gonna come out with something. If we don't do it first, they're gonna come out with like an Eridanus shampoo. New from Eridanus shampoo and conditioner. Anyway, huh?
I just copyrighted for the record. Just put it like a verbal contract out there on video, just in case. Like, hold up now.
Exactly. All rights
intellectually, that's ours.
Basically, because we just said that. So if we see you guys do it, cut us that Chizek, because we got other people out here that we would like to assist and help.
Right, but if you want to be the Medici, we will take that. You want to be the Medici?
Uplift our economic and political, emotional state.
Exactly. All right, so here we go. Let's get right down to business, guys. Why are we all here? Because it's Señor Jackson Bey.
Oh, he's in Paris. That's wild. He just went to Paris. Is that Paris or San Francisco?
Yeah.
San Francisco, the Golden Gate, right? The Gate of Man. We got Silver Gate and the Golden Gate. That's Scorpio, if I'm not mistaken. The Golden Gate is Scorpio. Because that's in Veritas, too. Didn't we go over that? The Silver Gate and the Golden Gate? Okay, I yield, guys. I yield, man. It's so much we can be doing right now. I just got books on top of books. Guys, we like to introduce to you Astrology Street with Brother Hasan's very own Señor Jackson Bey. Yeah!
Muchas gracias. Saludos a todos. Bueno, yeah, so I'm Señor Jackson Bey. Shout out to Brother Hasan, man. I mean, very diligent. So diligent, brother. I mean, consistent. You've always been well-informed, studied. You've been consistently sharing. And I emphasize sharing because you don't ask for much. But what you share is invaluable, bro. Invaluable. So, honest to you, man.
Man, I thank you, bro. I thank you. Honest to you for taking a shot on me. Because I remember 4 years ago, we were like, and I remember you said it. He was like, yo, you don't miss. You want to tell them? You want to say it? I want you to say it how you said it.
You don't.
So they can
Look,
hear you.
4 years ago, I think we had actually discussed doing online classes, right? And you said that this is something that's going to become prevalent. Then, what, a year and a half, maybe 2 years after that, then you have COVID-19. Online learning. Mandatory, at least in the public school system and, under that umbrella. But I'm like, I was just pondering like, all right, I knew it was coming. You don't miss. You don't miss. You called it before anybody that I'm acquainted with ever said anything about it. And now I'm just observing how prevalent online learning, education, and just communication in general is today. How many people came up with podcasts? Just across the gamut. So again, as I said, what you've been sharing is invaluable. Invaluable. I told Brother Hasan in the personal conversation that we had, I remember you calling this or pointing this out at least 2 years in advance. All fact. Well, this is all truth. All truth. So again, gratitude indeed, bro.
Bro, and you already know, like, because it's funny because when I asked you, I was like, bro, because technically you're my biological brother that's manifested after me. Is that me? Time out. That's me. My apologies. That was me, y'all. Again, I think I hit the microphone. Let me move this keyboard because I got my typing keyboard right here that I utilize. So I'll just put it on my lap for right now. All right, so Señor Jackson Bey, okay, can you tell them why online teaching became mandatory in public schools? Can you tell them why you know that? And then I'll continue on my portion of it.
Because I teach in public schools. I teach in the public schools. I teach Morse Latin.
So you're a professional. And if I'm not mistaken, for you, you're so into Moorish Latin, or as they call Spanish, that if I'm not mistaken, you stayed near what they call Costa Rica for a year to absorb the living. Am I recalling that properly or no?
No, I was just recently in Mexico. I wasn't in Costa Rica. We were supposed to go to Costa Rica.
Okay.
Before quote unquote COVID-19 for a school trip. No, but I was in Panama. I was in Panama. That may be what you're referring to. I was in Panama.
In Panama for a year.
Indeed.
Amazing. So that because how it was relayed to me, and if I remember you saying when you was telling me about that, you was like, yeah, man, because that's the best way you can absorb the culture and really learn. Right?
Indeed.
All right, and you're from here where I'm from, near the Baltimore Corporation.
Indeed.
So I want y'all to know, me and Señor Jackson Bey manifested from my mother's womb here near the Baltimore Corporation. So everything here ain't about The Wire or Homicide. Because before The Wire, it was the show Homicide that it used to film down near Fells Point in Canton. All righty, so you're definitely seeing at least two brothers that are not living the stereotypical Baltimore outcome.
Indeed.
All righty, because we're clear that it's a corporation anyway, because we're from our mother's wombs, not some corporate paper filed down at Annapolis, near the Annapolis Corporation. All right, so with that being said, yes, Señor Jackson Bey is a professional. I mean, Baltimore Teacher Union makes a lot of babies know Señor Jackson Bey, to the point where one of my sisters, when I showed her Astrology Street, and I was like, yeah, man, I got my brothers, my brother's like best friend, you know what I mean? It's like, man, you know what I mean? Because first of all, Señor Jackson Bey was at a school where he was letting us come play basketball on Tuesdays. He was able to get the gym on Tuesday so we could go hoop with Señor Jackson Bey, because the brother is a very good heart. Y'all see a body, and I'm telling you, that is a very big heart. Seriously. And he's sincere. I mean, super sincere. So sincere that he opened the classroom across from the gym for Moorish Latin studies. If anybody came that wanted to learn Spanish, he would put his recreational activity to the side to go teach while we still hoop. And that was here near the Mount Washington Corporation. That was Mount Washington Elementary, if I'm not mistaken, if I could say that. Right?
Elementary middle.
Oh, it's also Mount Washington Elementary Middle. And my sister, right?
had probably all three of our babies at one time there, but two are there, and basically my nephews, and you taught them.
Indeed.
You see what I'm saying? So when she sees you on astrology, she goes, "Oh my God, you know, Señor Jackson, oh my God." I'm like, I kind of grew up with Señor Jackson. Like I've been like, I'm riding my bike over to Ramblewood so we can go, so we can hoop. and we will watch my little brother do wheelies for like 12 blocks. You know what I'm saying? Like turning the corner while he's still on. Yo, trying to tell you, right? Shout out to Get Like Keith, right? All right, so with that being said, right? Yo, I asked Señor Jackson Bey, I was like, yo, this might sound really wild and crazy, but I think in a few years, bro, that people are going to be learning online anyway, and there's no resource of Moorish Americans that have something for children for astrology, because the idea, I'm like, yo, once the children want it and they want to really learn it, that's going to force the parents to learn astrology. And like we just shared from CM Bey, we're assisting uplifting fallen humanity by taking you out of the hypnosis of Christian astronomers. No offense, but for those of you that are done with the belief system, it's fun. I mean, yeah, you don't really have to be responsible over there. Your ability to respond doesn't have to be as strong. However, when you're ready and you can take everything that you learn, because Prophet Noble Ali said some of my good Moors are still in the church, still in the circle, still in the zodiac, right? Because what you could do, like we read about the manger and the asses and all of that, we are clearly seeing that the nativity, right? Nativity, again, that's astrology, because when you read an encyclopedia, it tells you in the nativity of, right? When you're reading astrology, it uses the term nativity. And then they say nativity scene. And then be like, don't deal with astrology, but you have asses in a manger that pertain to the constellation Cancer and Ocelis Borealis and Ocelis Australis and Praesepe. How can I really ignore that? How? Anyway, Señor Jackson Bey, man, you told me last conversation we was having, I was like, bro, I really see you, like, really the people are coming to you and teaching. You was like, man, I'm developing curriculums. So could you, I guess, go in a little on who you are when it comes to Moorish Latin, what you've experienced? Why are you creating curriculums?
Well, as Tariq Bey says, culture is in the language. So let's take a word like, I don't know, moro. Moro, you have Cristiano y Moro, which is a dish, a very popular dish. White rice and black beans. The name of the dish is called Cristianos, Christians, y Moros, Moors. This is a popular dish in the Spanish-speaking world, right? You also have the term moreno, which is to denote a particular copper tone complexion. You have mora, which means blackberry. I'm just looking at all these different connections as I was learning Moorish Latin throughout the years. And I'm like, wait a minute.
That's a sincere wait a minute.
Hey, hold on, something's not right now. Hold on.
Oh, wait a minute.
What are they saying here? And then when we know the history of Spain, we know ruled there.
Al-Andalus.
Erection of university. Al-Andalus, right? And actually, when you break that word down, anda means like to go or to walk. Luz is light, walking in light. So I'm looking at all these different connections and I'm like, man, they don't teach the language in this way to make those connections. It's just something that you pick up if you have the eyes to see it. So when I look at general curricula across different districts in the education system, I mean, even the way that the administrators would like we as educators to teach, I don't really, like, I do what I know is best, right? I have to be sincere, otherwise I wouldn't be effective. So I just look at these different, and then marron, there's so many connections. I mean, so many connections. So I look at all these different connections that I'm seeing and I'm like, okay, well, I would not like to reinvent the wheel. However, there's a thing or a term called culturally responsive teaching, right? So culturally responsive teaching is essentially whoever your student population is, you have to meet them where they are. You have to relate.
Wow, that's so Jesus-y of you. I'm kidding. I just had to add that to it. No, but that's being real though. You do have to meet people where they are. Correct. I yield.
Meet people where they are. Also, you have to connect. You have to relate. I know the particular terms, the cultural products such as food, music, dance, that would have been relatable for me when I was in the school system as a child. So I'm looking at these things, and this is what I incorporate in my lessons. And again, I'm not trying to reinvent the wheel, but I do see a need for more culturally responsive curriculum because it's almost non-existent in, I would say, the public school system, and I would say any school system, honestly, even private. But I think it's essential that we know several languages, just to be able, just to have that tool. I think is very useful. Also, I think there's an ancestral connection there. Again, like I know my chart and everything, and I know I have maybe the inclination to learn languages and an inclination to be drawn to things that are foreign. However, I mean, you listen to Bad Bunny, you listen to Osuna.
Yes.
You feel it. You can feel the rhythm. It's like it's speaking to an ancestral part of you that we just need to tap into. And I know, the prophet said we need to know this language. If there's any other language we need to know.
That's what I was looking for. I was right here in the oral statements and prophecies. I was like, let me see if I can find when Prophet Noble Jali said we need to be learning Spanish. I'm trying to see if it's here or if it's in the 101. That's why I'm just like, hold on, let me double check. I want to say it's in here, honestly. But go ahead, I yield.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially what I do. That's essentially what I do. That's what I enjoy. I see the benefit in it. And I'm certain that many of our brothers and sisters would benefit from it. And again, I believe that it would awaken in us, those that aren't familiar with the language,
Yes.
a part of us that is dormant. That's what I'll say. A part of
It's
us
like-
that's dormant.
It's like, you know, for me, when I looked at when I was looking at East, and we know metaphysically East is within, right? So I was like, okay, as East is within, does that mean West is without? Right? So that's the outer, right? So that's the outer consciousness, and the inner consciousness is East. In Moorish Latin, the term without is sin, S-I-N, with it, and it's accented. The I is accented, right? Sin is without, right?
Mm.
So now I'm like, oh, sin. So when people are in sin, they are without themselves.
Indeed.
So
In the
yes,
language.
it's very helpful. That's what I wanted to say. I yield, bro. Go ahead. I yield. Islam.
No, it's in the language. It's in the language. I've seen, and again, so the disclaimer, because people always, not always, but some people are under the impression that, no, I don't know every English word, okay? So no, I don't know every single Spanish word, because I don't know every English word. However, I'm highly proficient in both languages is what I'll say. So some people will say, well, how do you say this? I'm like, well, really, there's no translation for that in one word. So the Moorish Latin has many words per message. What I mean by that is, in English, where I may say, Hassan's hair is long. In Moorish Latin, I would say, the hair of Hassan is long, because there's no apostrophe used in the language.
To show possession. So in order to show possession, you would have to say, this thing belonging to this.
Exactly.
Okay, I yield. Whereas the apostrophe creates what you're saying is contraction. There are no contractions in Moorish Latin. That's what it sounds like you're saying.
Number
Indeed.
67.
All right.
Indeed.
Moor should learn Spanish as a second language.
Say that again.
Moor should learn Spanish as a second language. Canon number 67.
Is 67.
Oh, yeah, I printed out the paper from the already made, so I got like a bunch of papers here.
Okay.
Stapled it together. So according to these sheets of paper, it says Canon 67.
Oh, Canon 60. Okay. What I'm looking for then, what I want to know then is, where is it in? It's got to be the oral statements and prophecies. And it's not that I'm looking away from the camera to not keep eye contact and interest with Señor Jackson Bey. To those that are looking now, viewing now, or will view in the future, I am far from uninterested. I'm looking as he's conversing with us all and telling us all, you know, his experience, and being, you know, a Moorish Latin scholar, you know, every day, right? I wanted to
92,
find where
bro,
Prophet Noble Drew Ali said that. What'd you say?
92, bro. Islam just found it.
It's
I was looking for
92.
it as well. Islam.
Excellent. I appreciate my brothers. 92, right? So is this where I'm just going to go out on a whim here and trust that we can kind of see this. 92, right? And I'm going to monitor from my other screen here. And it says, Brother O. Peyton Bey of Temple number 4 and number 25 said, that the Holy Prophet said. Now I know that's hearsay. Well, he said that the prophet said, so how do we know it's the oral statements and prophecy? Well, that wouldn't be. That would technically be hearsay. So now it's like, well, how do you know he said it? We're just going to put out here based on our discernment and being pure heart, being sincere intent, and being love and being honor. We're discerning for ourselves that there is love being communicated there. Brother O. Peyton Bey of Temple 4 and number 25 said that the Holy Prophet said, quote, so he's quoting him, the foreign language that we most need to learn is Spanish. So Señor Jackson Bey holding up the astral ore cubes in a 2-minute video and just going through all of the astrology signs through the whole zodiac, and it's 4 times he's saying it. That's far from it looking silly. We are following instruction. And that's 9 times out of 10, if not 11 times out of 10. That's what everything you see, what we do is based on something in Prophet Noble Drew Ali's literature, even down to, is the brothers rapping? Or is he rapping? That's chapter 20. What is it? Chapter 29? The arts improving? Like, what are we playing here? I yield. Señor Jackson Bey. 92.
Oh.
Number 92 in the Oral Statements and Prophecies. Shout out to Brother Sean for that one. Seriously. Let's get it.
And just a little bit about my background. So I didn't start learning Morse Latin until 7th grade.
Is that me or is that him? I'm sorry, they had you pause and stop and sped up the video. So I'm trying to see what's going on with the feed. I'm making sure we're good. I think our connection is good. Let's see. Keep going.
Okay.
I'm gonna start taking a few things off out of my back. Keep going.
All right, indeed. So I started learning Morse Latin in the 7th grade. I would say I got fairly interested in it. Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
I took a liking to it. I would say in high school is where I really started to take it seriously, because the instructors in high school, they would speak Morse Latin, I would say maybe 95% of the time. And honestly, it was a fairly simple language to learn because it's so well structured, much more well structured than English is, in my opinion. When you look at other foreign languages like Italian, French, Japanese, Chinese, they all have grammatical genders, just like Morse Latin. Adjective noun agreement as far as that grammatical gender, just like Morse Latin. The different verb conjugation as far as the endings changing, just like Morse Latin. So it's a very well-structured language. Also, upon observing the grammatical genders, now they say that they're like incidental. So they really don't have any relation to male or female, but you will see some connections. For example, el sol, which is sun, la luna, the moon.
Yeah.
Even looking at those definite articles, el and la, when you put those together, it's Allah, almost like Allah. I'm like, man, this isn't accidental. This is this is by design. This is by design. And when you know that our ancient foremothers and forefathers are responsible for, heavily responsible for developing this language. It just made me that much more enthusiastic about learning, enthusiastic about sharing what I've learned, just to see those different connections and to really know, like, okay, this is like, it's a part of me. I think it's a part of us. It's a part of us that I would say is dormant. Yeah, so that's my experience. So when I went to college, which, I mean, this is my experience. College to me was similar to how a jail is set up.
Mm.
The dining service was actually a dining service that provided food to prison.
So it was Bob Barker. Wow. Because a lot of people don't know. The Price is Right, Bob Barker. That's who is doing all the commissary, the shoes, like to the point where some people then they know you came from Central Booking here near the Baltimore Corporation because we'll see you in a pair of Bob Barkers. That's what we call them jailhouse shoes. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed.
But go on. The Benjamins, they laughing. See, they see the brother Benjamin, he did Alabama State Republic, and brother Sean did Kentucky State Republic. So a lot of times we say different things colloquially from where we from, and it's like, wow. So I know now they're gonna be like the Bob Barkers.
Like the Jesus sandals or something like that. Like New Balances here are probably like that.
The Bob Barkers look like what you usually see Bruce Lee in.
Okay.
The black shoes with the white sole. That's I'm trying to tell you, bro. That's like I didn't get it till, you know what I mean? I actually, you know what I mean, experienced it. And so I'm like, oh, well, okay, I get it now. All right. Because then you'll see all the commissary, all that. Like when it comes to privatized prisons and all of that, that's Bob Barker. A lot of people thought, oh, yes, Price is Right. And they selling people too. They selling products, you know what I mean, on the show. And they selling people in the prisoner of war camp system called, now I think it's called Civic Works or something Civics. They call it Civic something. It used to be Corrections Corporations of America, and their ticker on the New York Stock Exchange was CXW. All righty, for the Corrections Corporations of America. If you guys could find the Endangered List by D.L. Hughley, they only played that twice on, what was that? Comedy Central. It only aired twice on Comedy Central. The Endangered List by D.L. Hughley. You must watch that and you will be clear on what bro is talking about. Yo, college was ran like a jail because the food that we being supplied is through the same suppliers that's supplying the jail. The host of the Price, well, former host of the Price is Right, Bob Barker. Just want to make sure y'all put, you know, give you a little history or something, make sure you know it. But you know, go ahead, I yield, brother. Islam.
Even like down to the dorms, again, that's what it reminded me of. Again, that's my experience, right? My personal experience. But there, I encountered a lot of quote unquote native speakers of Morris Latin. We shared classes together. And one thing that I found interesting, because I didn't attend school with many native Morris Latin speakers. One thing I found interesting is I assumed that because it was their native language, that they were going to be excellent at it. Correct. As far as like grammar, writing, and that wasn't so. So, I mean,
they speak slang. They speak just as hood.
Slang.
Pardon me. They speak just as hood as people that speak English.
Indeed. And that's why, like, when I hear you listen to Bad Bunny or Osuna, Bad Bunny, that's Puerto Rico. they don't pronounce they don't pronounce anything how it is supposed to sound, but not how it's supposed to sound. I would say like quote unquote properly. But
Okay, may I add to your wisdom? It's like, for example, for the listeners, it's like when people from down south don't say is, they be like, ugh. Oh, that over there. You know what I mean? It's like that. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what it is.
Serious.
But still understood. It's still comprehensible. You can still understand it. It's just you initially you may be like, what did he just say? But you can still comprehend it. Same concept. That was a perfect breakdown of that, actually.
Yeah, like
Perfect.
how the song by Bad Bunny is Estamos bien. But when he sings it is Estamos bien.
That's it.
He's not saying the S. That's why I said it's like somebody saying ill. Like who that is? So he's not saying Estamos bien. He's saying Estamos bien. And you like, hold on, yo. And now you about to get into an argument because you think you know what we all good is. Hey, yo, how you say we all good in Spanish? Estamos bien. My bad. Estamos bien. And be like, you come across G-Jack, you know what I mean? See your Jackson Bay, you're gonna be like, it's actually Estamos bien. Nah, man, see you on the song. I'm just letting you know the title says Estamos bien, but the artist is giving his slanguage. Okay, I yield.
Slanguage.
Like, where that at? Or where is that?
Which is important to know. It is important to know that language because, I mean, you know where we're all from. We all speak in a certain vernacular. So it's not to say that one is better than the other. It's just different. That's all it is. It's just different. Yeah. So, I mean, again, that's my background. Ever since then, upon like graduating, and honestly, I never felt. Again, this is my personal experience, guys. So don't be offended. Anyone that has attended college and graduate, I didn't really see it as an accomplishment. I just looked at it as a tool that I have now, something that I can use. Yeah, I really didn't like. Again, it's not something that really made me proud.
Do your thing. I'm about to just record us real quick and post this while
Indeed.
we're going. Do your thing.
Indeed.
We all still here?
Oh, I did come across some popular literature in the Spanish language. You see Moorish history all throughout. I mean, all throughout. El Canto de Mio Cid. Our people are always referred to as Moros. You all familiar with the movie Martin Lawrence was in it? I think it was called Black Knight.
Oh yeah, where he was on that horse and it was kind of like, yeah.
And fell in that river into medieval times. Or late.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, they was Moros.
Him as.
Yeah, he's like, what? He's like, I think I like this Moros thing. Yeah.
So Moor.
They called him Moor the entire time, and that again.
Well, definitely said more, yeah, in that, like, yeah, I yield.
That's again how we were identified commonly. So my point being, in that particular film, he was in like what we call medieval times, right? That's similar to how Spanish or proper Spanish would sound if we compared it to how language is spoken nowadays. So Spanish would be, I would compare it to like Old English, right? wherefore thou. That's how it sounds when it's translated into English at times. Unless you know the language, right? Then you can break it down and translate it into a digestible form for people. But yeah, man, I mean, I'm excited, man. I'm excited to connect with our people, to again just share and learn together. I don't really know what else to say. Maybe you could ask.
Hey, I mean, if that's where it is, like, bro, I already knew. You know what I mean? That's funny. In order to change the people, you must change their literature. Yeah, we must change their literature and speak in different, tongue, right? Different tongue in cheek, right? That's so funny.
It's Czech language. Dang it.
Oh, it said tongue's Czech. Oh, okay. My apologies. Right. All right. So when it comes to Señor Jackson Bey, guys, what I would like to, just put out there. First of all, his Instagram is, I think it was at GJack711.
Indeed.
So it's like GJAK, right? 711, right? You guys can follow him on Instagram because find out what his curriculums are. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, this is someone who I see what his gifts are. So he's not like, how, we're doing all this advertising and art creation and stuff. I'm not saying that Señor Jackson Bey can't do it. It will probably be me being the one be like, yo, y'all need to check out Señor Jackson Bey. I'm gonna be doing where he's really just like, if you want to hoop or if you want to learn, Moorish Latin, we can do that. Y'all don't want to play him in basketball either. I'm telling you, he's really good. Jackson Bey's it would have to be me, you, and Jag playing because Brother Terrell Tamari Bey, that's who Brother Jag is. Brother Terrell Tamari Bey, he's a hooper too. He's quite a hoop star also. You know what I'm saying? I know Brother Sean and Brother Benjamin. Huh?
Yeah, we gotta break that team up. That's all height. He looks tall on the camera.
Well, tall versus shorts? What you think this is, bro?
He's like, what? No. It's gonna be like the monster
snagging every rebound.
The minions.
I would be out of Brother Terrell and Señor Jackson Bey. I would be the shortest though. Still out of those two, because Señor Jackson Bey has height on me. Even. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is though, the way guys.
I'd say Baby Shaq, Brother Corey. You got that?
Yo, yeah. Brother Corey is definitely Baby Shaq. Because Brother Corey's like 6'2", 6'3", right? So and then Jag's like 6'1", you know what I mean? So yeah, like the five of us, you know what I mean? Just the Seven Hills are, and because my intention, and I guess I'll make this announcement now. My intention for Señor Jackson Bey, even outside of that, and I know I still got to send you the email, bro, or whatever. But I did a little running around, and I had some emergencies on the phone today. And I even had me late on what I was. So I thought, when I caught you at 4 or something, you was just only a few minutes out of doing, but you're ready at 3:40. We know that for next Friday. I want people, because even though we can give reports in Moorish Latin, and I'm going to send you one probably tonight, Señor Jackson Bey, to see what you think of it, right? However, Señor Jackson Bey is well-versed in astrology also. Astrologia, right? Astrologia. Am I accenting the right syllable? Astrologia? Okay.
Exactly.
Gracias. Therefore, right? Yes, I want to maybe even set up classes, or we can do a presentation where Señor Jackson Bey can, if I give the lesson or think of something to go in on, or I say something or speak on something, then Señor Jackson Bey can be there interpreting right there. You guys ever seen when Joyce Meyer? I don't know if you guys watch, every once in a while, I still watch what they call televangelists. I'll watch T.D. Jakes, Joyce Meyer. I'll watch, Joseph Prince, because I know what I'm watching so that I can go into my studies further, right? Joyce Meyer, one time I saw her near Perot, Hindustan, what they call India.
And so she'll give a few, you know, whatever in her sermon, and then old boy who is, you know what I mean, interpreting, you know what I mean, for the people that don't really know English like that. As she's giving her sermon, he's saying now, and I don't know if he's speaking Hindi, Urdu, Gujarati, you know, I'm not sure what he's speaking, right? So with that being said, I figured that's what Señor Jackson Bey could do, you know what I mean? But the first thing I was thinking, really, like, bro, you could be the Moorish Latin astrologer. You know what I mean? I know he's got a lot on his plate. He has a family. You know, he takes very close to his loved ones. All right, he's very close to his loved ones. However, he's serious in my eyes about, you know, Moorish Latin. So therefore, guys, I'm thinking like, you know, once you know, like we go through the overlook of the protocol, right? So that I can guarantee that, you know, that stamp and seal for the certification, because I know he knows. So I'm looking to expand Seven Hill Star on the means as far as the Moorish Latin is concerned, because that way, if you guys can either get astrology from him in Moorish Latin, if that's what you desire, because some people that watch us, that's their first language before English, actually. Like Brother Pumiel out there, shout out to Brother Pumiel. You know what I'm saying? And Mother Jacqueline, right? I was gonna say, you know, like his consort, Mother Jacqueline. With that being said, you know, what if they wanted to come, you know, for astrology a certain way that, you know, Señor Jackson Bey comprehends astrology? You know, like I said, man, like I said, we can just go over that intensive. Like you already, like everybody that is part of Seven Hill Star has access to, you know, the intensive. But I had to check, just like I checked with Brother Corey, Brother Terrell, Brother Sean, and Brother Benjamin. And I checked on, make sure that, you know, they recalling the protocol. I already know Señor Jackson Bey is going to have it down packed, but it's my responsibility to the rest of y'all that could potentially come to us in the future to make sure that I'm confident in it. And when I go and check that and put my, you know, autograph and seal to that, then you guys will be seeing on sevenhillstar.com a means to get astrology and Moorish Latin directly from him. And you guys, if he would like to, you know, Señor Jackson Bey, if you want to put up there an idea of what you're doing for curriculums or Moorish Latin classes, because it wouldn't just have to be astrology. We could actually put your Moorish Latin classes up there on the website also, because maybe people want to come and learn. And I don't know, you may have something, I don't know what you may have set up as far as your curriculums and the ideas. I trust that it's going to unfold into something beautiful. Because for a brother to open up a gym on a Tuesday for us to hoop, and somebody come and want to learn Spanish, you go, hey, yo, somebody take my spot, and he go teach across the hall. Yeah, that's going to be my Moorish Latin teacher. I'm sorry, because I want
Hoops and reeds.
Huh?
That remind me when I went to this Mormon Bible study like that. They hoop with carpet on the floor. I'm not sure if that's a thing or not, but I was with one of my friends like a while back. He was like, yeah, man, the only thing we can go hoop, but we got to do this Mormon Bible study. I was like, I'll go. We read a couple passages. Next thing you know, we was in there dropping them off. So yeah.
On carpet?
Yeah, on carpet. It was weird. It was like boom, boom. It was some majestic. I'm not sure of like balling or that type of concern, but it was arena football-ish.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. We've been gym.
Don't take too many dribbles. That's what I would say. If you're running full court, don't take too many dribbles. Don't run fast, because it's that like, because the ball we had was like clothy. It wasn't even a leather ball. It was like a clothy, like wall. If I could make the sound, it wasn't leather. It was like soft. You know what I'm trying to say? Like that. It was a word, but you know, for the hoops though, you know, a young copper tone brother out there, you hear hoops, you'll go through fire. So.
Indeed, already see it now. When we have the Astro MeetUp, I sound like, especially Stowe, yo soy.
Astro hoops.
Yo, it's so much that's about to unfold, guys. That's why I said this is about to be beautiful, bro. But like I said, yes, I would like to expand from 5 to 6 when it comes to the Seven Hill Star team as far as Señor Jackson Bey. So that's why I'm putting out this public announcement to, ensure, what it is. Señor Jackson Bey is a scholar. He already knows the astrology. Like, really, before we even asking him about Astrology Street, if I'm not, mistaken, you already knew before I even asked you about Astrology Street. You already had, you were already into astrological studies.
And
You know what I mean? So, yeah, guys. So I trust you guys, really take yourselves.
Hopefully excited because I am.
Yeah, take yourselves seriously, bro. I mean, seriously, like mothers and sons, take yourselves seriously, because I'm not playing with Señor Jackson Bey here, and then for all of you that's wondering where his fez is, ask him, because you got to see the pictures from his brother's matrimonial obligation. I know that's private, and so let him, whatever, but man, everybody was in garment. Somebody had on a headdress.
Indeed.
It
Free flowing headdress, not
chapter
not
47, huh?
the free flowing headdress, not the
Yeah,
cartoon.
it was if I recall, you had on the short tarboose though. It was no fez though. It had no tassel, but it's still our headdress. But everybody was in garment some kind of way, because it was more of chapter 47, Egypt, the capital dominion of Africa, kind of vibration to it. So if I wasn't mistaken, I remember blue and gold, a lot of blue and gold.
Indeed.
Right.
Exactly.
So when you look at like the King Tut picture, imagine just the blue and gold that you see with that, King Tut sarcophagus type energy. And I'm telling you guys, the energy of the pictures, you would be like, where are they from? You know what I mean? You know how when people are costuming and theming, you can tell they're costuming and theming? Nah, that energy was like, where are they from? Hold on, that's who in the pictures? Yeah, I do remember him. Like, man, that looks like a whole different crowd of people, because this guy right here, Señor Jackson Bey. Telling you, man, real quiet, real laid back, knows his shit, and is on it. However, I yield the floor, Señor Jackson Bey. What could we get out of your curriculum? As you were saying, it was the cultural. Say that again. I remember CRT.
Yeah, culturally responsive teaching.
Culturally responsive teaching.
Indeed.
Right.
Honestly, so I'm currently developing like various levels. Young children, like intermediate level, and then for adults. Astrology is actually probably one of the most beneficial ways to learn Moorish Latin.
Oh, yes, it is.
I mean, from the house system to the planets, and we know that the planets correspond to days, and that's probably the most effective way to learn Moorish Latin.
Could you do that for us next Friday? I know it's impromptu improv, but could you share astrology with us next Friday, and just completely, just when you say any sign, planet, or house, just make it Moorish Latin?
Indeed.
All right, no, I'm serious. Give us a class next Friday where we're learning Moorish Latin by going through the Zodiac.
Indeed.
I'm with that. I don't care if these are the signs in Moorish Latin. These are the planets. See how it ties to this day? It doesn't even have to be elaborate. You can just give us what you will give the babies, actually. So I yield. Go ahead.
And that's the thing, because of the foundational knowledge that's already there, I'm not going to speak any English. And you won't need me to. You wouldn't need me to. That's, yes. Oh yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited.
Because remember, I want you for 3 Fridays in a row, bro. This is Friday 1. And I want you for 2 more Fridays in a row.
Indeed.
Before the vernal equinox and after that round. So I wanted to all kind of just people close out the year and come in the year with Señor Jackson Bey. I'm trying to tell you, it's time to get the people's literature changed some more. I yield. Go ahead, bro. We're listening.
Yeah, so yeah, we could definitely do that. Going through the 12 signs, again, the house system, the planets, and just the simple fact that one of the most important things to learn in Moorish Latin, and this is what they, like, administration urges educators to stress, or any language teacher, adjectives. Adjectives, because they correspond with the actions, the verbs. So, for example, we may have a term like, well, we know casa, house, right? That's a noun. And then we may have particular keywords for a house. For example, la primera casa, el ser, self. La segunda casa, valor.
Time out. Did you say el ser, S-A-A-R? So hold on. Hey, yo. Wow. El ser is like the to be.
Indeed.
So because ser is to be. I do know that much.
Indeed.
Wow.
Do you see the connection?
Wow. So when you say you're a sentient being, to be that in astrology is first house, right? Not the sentient part, but to be that being self, because we have it as on like the astro study for 7 Hill Star Astro Study poster, it's self, but self is el ser. So that's the self, the to be. You can only be what you know, right? Man, yeah, that's, go ahead, keep going, man. I'm soaking this up. I'm soaking this up.
Oh, man.
This is love.
Indeed. And again, so all around the board. So I don't want to go through all of them.
Yeah, save it for next Friday. We'll save it for next Friday. But do what you do, though. He's probably getting a call, y'all. So give him a second to come on back. He's probably getting a phone call. I noticed that's what happens.
Give me a minute.
All righty, Islam. So yeah, so he'll come on back once he takes that call, guys. So that's what I'm just saying, man. Like next Friday and the Friday after that, because I want him to just kind of, because I know Señor Jackson Bey's a teacher, right? We teach. However, he has been in that realm of the indoctrination systems, the servile art indoctrination systems turned public schools. And you just heard him say, man, yeah, even though I'm here and I know what they want of us, I see that there's culturally responsible teaching that's missing. And that's what he's bringing in harmony with what Prophet Noble, man, I'm telling you, Prophet Noble Drew Ali is the man, because what he brought us over 100 years ago is still inspiring and influencing us now. And we're enjoying this. I know I am. I know I'm enjoying it.
Indeed. I'm excited, man. I'm like, oh, school all over again. You know, it's like, man, I definitely excited about it.
Mm-hmm. So with that being said, or whatever the case may be, because I know Señor Jackson Bey has like, it's
for him to be on as long as he was with us or whatever, even if he does come back or doesn't, I know he has he has a full family there, right? And if I'm not mistaken, it's even a baby there also. Because when I spoke with him before he came on, he let us know that he'd be doing some traveling and coming on after about 8-ish or whatever. You know, he's like, I'm changing the baby right now. I was just like, man, like he just stays in a zone that, you know, whatever needs to get done, he just knock it out and go on to the next one. Like that's Señor Jackson Bey. You know what I mean? He's just knocking it out, right? So with that being said, let me check the chat here on YouTube, man. I don't even know. Is there people that's been watching? Like, what's really been going on? Like, you know, I don't really know, you know, and plus I'm ready to post this to TikTok and Instagram, a little video that I took of what we've done already. So, all right, that's cool. Let's see. Were there any comments in the chat? Oh, wow. It was a few. So JL, peaceful greetings to you all in here. So JL said Islam, Moors, love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. Indeed. Brother Aura from for the account Paragon Rico, peace and love, brothers. Indeed, Brother Aura. Brother Yusef Mutadi El. Bro says Islam. As above, so below. If the mind is out of order, the body is out of order, and vice versa, says Paragon Rico, right? And then Atslan Elmore Bay, Islam to the Moors, they say. Hershey 80s baby. Oh, that's brother. That's my bro. That's brother Javen. That's peace and love, right? He says peace and love. Well, brother Terrell, why you just come in? You know, brother, it says Terrell Tamari Bay, all rights reserved. You Moors, tomorrows, right? That's what he says there, right? Brother Jag, all right? So he's probably jamming it up, you know, Brother Jag, you know, he has his jam sessions at certain times. That's why a lot of times he likes to get things done early, right? Brother Regular Muhammad Time Sarah Bay, right? He's like, man, we need to go on early because, you know, I got jam sessions. It's like, yeah, I know, bro. So shout out to our bro though, man. So that's amazing, guys. What we're gonna do here, right? I do know Señor Jackson Bey, you know, he was on as long as he could be, honestly. And then, like I said, even next cycle, I'm gonna make sure we're gonna be on probably like I said, when he comes on at 3:40, he'll be on from 3:40 to 5 p.m. next. And I know you guys, that's not so impromptu. However, the brother he has a certain schedule that he has to keep within his own. So he's actually, that's what he has to work with. We're gonna work with that for Impromptu Improv, so he can come on in and give that brief lesson, right? And I'm not gonna say anything. I want him to give his lesson and run through it. And he promised to not speak English when he does it. So you guys are going to get a brief astrology lesson in Moorish Latin next Friday, next holy day with Señor Jackson Bey at GJack711 on Instagram, right? At GJack711 on Instagram. That's exactly how that's going. Peaceful greetings. We're almost finishing up the live. Indeed. Yeah. No, I'm gonna call you back because I know you was checking on me about my foot and everything, and I was saying all as well. So I'm definitely gonna reach out. It's just I had a little emergency call today, and I kind of went shopping with my beloved mother, in whom I'm well pleased. And so yeah, it is what it is. But we're finishing up the live now, so I'll give you a call right soon as I'm done. All right, Islam, peace and love. So with that being said, guys,
Brother Hasan made it to 12 different languages for one day.
I know, right? I know,
Like,
right?
yeah, my brothers just hello. Hey, how you doing? It's just like
I know, right? It's like, which voice do I use? Because you know, you gotta meet people where they are. So it's like shout out to Señor Jackson Bey, man. Again, man. No, it's all good, man. Like I said, I know the brother's busy and he's got a full life there. So for him had to get a call and he had to go and do what he had to do, it's all good. You know what I mean? I know he probably had to help my sis there. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to you, sis, and the babies also. I don't really know if she wants her appellation out there, but shout out to you, Mother. Okay, I just said it like that real briefly. Only people that know her know what I just said. Okay, so with that being said, are there any other questions, comments, and or suggestions from my magnificent beloved brothers in whom I'm well pleased? I guess before we go, I'll see if you guys have any questions or comments, or you want to state anything. before we leave, we can take a look at what we started out with. Look at these last two. Look at these charts, right? From, you know, I already took the screenshots, right? And this is what the chart's looking like for the new moon Ash Wednesday, right? That was March 2nd, 2022. That was a Wednesday. And at 1, 2, 3, 4 Eastern, right? That's where we had Luna and Solar, right? So we had a solar lunar conjunction, which is termed new moon, occur in the 9th house, right? So that's dealing with erudition and higher learning. And we had Señor Jackson Bay on it. Just saying, you gotta look at this energy. All right, so, and then 4 days later after that was Charles Mosley Bay, you know, solar return. I wonder if Charles Mosley Bay, I want to go and check to see what date that is for his solar return. We need to check to see when was Ash Wednesday in 1897. All righty, that's what we need to check. When was Ash Wednesday in 8? My brother Sean's already on it. I can see that. When was Ash Wednesday in 1897? If it was March 6th, my mind's gonna be blown, bro. Like, well, no, it's not. It's not gonna be blown. I'm just gonna be like, wow. What you got, brother Sean? Your mic's muted.
1897.
Yeah. When was Ash Wednesday in 1897?
It was March 6th.
Wow. Are you serious, bro?
I am so serious. Let's see.
So Charles Mosley Bay
Wednesday,
manifested
March
on
3rd.
Ash Wednesday. Man, you can't make this stuff up, man. And you know what's funny? I said in my head, I said, I wonder if Ash Wednesday in 1897 was on March the 6th, because that's Charles Mosley Bay's solar return. He manifested March 6, 1897. So that's, wow. All righty. Impromptu improv, man. I'm telling you, this one right here.
This one right here.
It seems like every Friday, man, it just be like turned up. Any hoosers, right? And continuing, guys. So then I wanted to look at, of course, you know, those days later, as we can see, you know, on that Thursday, the Lent will end. So Lent is going to be 43 days this year instead of 40, right? Because of this here, right? So I'm taking Lent begins. For me, I know they say a Wednesday, but for me, I think Lent begins around the new moon in Pisces. That's what it is for me. It just so happens that the new moon took place on a Wednesday this year, which who knows what it looks like in other years, you know? Because if it happened on the 6th in 1897, the 6th ain't 12 degrees. The 6th is about 16 degrees. So now we need to find out when was the new moon in that time. I can cast a chart for 1897, no problem. We can do that, no problem. I mean, that's nothing to go here, you know. Hold on. That would be nothing. Right? Let's both those charts together real quick, you know, for the vernal full moon. But let's just say we want to, you know, do a new chart. And we're looking at Brother Charles, all right? I'm just going to do it like that, you know. Oh, you know what? No, let's just, because I'm not putting his time. Let's just put Ash Wednesday, 1897, right? All right. And we're going to put this, as we said, because you said it's the 6th, right? According to your research, right?
Indeed.
So let's go. The sun is definitely at 6 degrees. However, Ash Wednesday, right? I spelled Wednesday wrong.
I don't think it hit the 1897.
I didn't hit the 1897.
I'm still showing for, yeah.
I thought I did. I put 1897 there instead of there, and misspelled Wednesday. All right. And go. All righty. I think we're good. It still happened like I thought it was. I still knew the moon was going to be passed. So you see how this Ash Wednesday, there's a solar lunar conjunction. So now if you were to go back a couple of days before CM Bay manifested, because this is CM Bay's solar return date, when was that moon conjunct the sun? That's what we're looking for here. Pardon me. Must have hit that 1 too many times too quick. 2 seconds. Almost there, y'all. Give me 1 moment. So the solar lunar conjunction in 1897 was 3 days before CM Bay manifested. Charles Moseley Bay manifested 3 days after the full moon. So 3 days after the full moon was obviously, am I even looking at this right? Am I looking at?
No, 3 days before. We said, yeah, 3.
Because it looks like it's saying Wednesday, bro.
Wait, let me see. Yeah,
why is this Wednesday if Ash Wednesday was March 6th? You sure your research results show that? So your results show March 6th.
Indeed, yeah, let's see.
Let me see what happens when I press 1 day forward. So the 6th in 1897 was a Saturday. So technically Ash Wednesday would have. One more time, Brother Sean, what you seeing? You want to share what you seeing?
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. I'm not trying to show you up, brother, at all. You know what I mean?
Nah, because now we looking at it, some don't.
Go ahead, you can share your screen, bro.
Let's see. All right, no, I don't Astro go. Here we go. Safari.
Wow, March 6, 1897. Ash Wednesday. When was Ash Wednesday? Oh, it's 3rd. Ash Wednesday, 1897 fell on Wednesday, March 3rd. But go back. It said that, yes, once you clicked on it, but that is misleading. I see why you said March 6th.
Okay, yeah.
What was that? What is that? 164th, 164. March 6th Ash. What is that? But I see why you said that though, bro. Whatever. At the end of the day, the correction is made. Exit. Yeah, hit that X real quick. I want to see. No, that little X of use your Google. Yeah, get that out of there. 1897.
I guess that was a picture or something they posted.
The full moon in that picture.
Sure is.
Yeah.
And what is he looking in? That's a big crown looking thing. Is that a Zodiac? What's going on at the bottom of that picture too? Because this looks like a card of some sort, honestly. at Heidelberg University, Art Nouveau. Yeah, I want some more information. What is that? More information. Click more information. We need to go to the Heidelberg University Library, obviously. Thank you, Cheyenne and Pam. All righty, that's good to see, though. All righty. No problemos, Brother Sean. You can enjoy screen share. And guys, we're gonna wrap up here, guys. We like to just thank you for joining us as we wrapping up. We're gonna show you these last couple of charts here. All righty. And like I said, I can bring it up here also, you know, guys, so that you can see that we are looking at that moon. And then the second one was the vernal equinox, right? Let's take it to the photos though, just very quickly so you guys can just see. All righty, off these photos that I took 2 minutes after 1800, right? Whereas what time is it now? 17 after 2200, right? All right. So that's what we're looking at. And then I wanted to see, okay, so when's the, you know, the vernal full moon, right? And it's happening at 26 degrees, right? Libra, I think earlier I said Pisces and Virgo, so let me correct my statement. The full moon is happening at 26 degrees, 45 minutes Aries, and 26 degrees, 45 minutes Libra. I stand corrected because I just even realized as I'm looking at it, I'm like, I said the wrong thing earlier. But it's all good. It's no worries, guys. I'm pretty sure you knew what I meant when speaking about after vernal equinox, that I meant actually Aries, but even though I said Pisces and Virgo for some reason. Let me correct myself for the record. Sun is at 26 degrees Aries, 45 minutes. Luna is at 26 degrees Libra, 45 minutes. All right. So with that being said, beloveds, it is all to the goods to see that that's 45 days from March 2nd to April 16th. However, never forget when we went back in our notes, we did all the mathematics necessary to just kind of look at, you know, those answers there as far as the origin and things of that nature, right? So when we go back here, we see that March 2nd is when it starts, but it's going to end 3 days before Easter. Triduum obviously means 3 days before Easter, because it says on the Friday before Lazarus Saturday for the Eastern. And that lets you know Easter Triduum, which is 3 days before Easter, going backwards from Sunday, gives you Saturday, Friday, Thursday. So Lent ends on a Thursday. Oh, look, it says it right there. Thursday, April 14th, 2022. I know I could have just read that, but however, what we're doing is analyzing everything that we're seeing in front of us. And you guys can go even further in on the etymology pertaining to Triduum, right? Easter, and Saturday, and Lazarus. Get a feel of it. See what it is. Because Lazarus is in the Metaphysical Bible Dictionary too, right? See what you get out of it, right? Celebrations, omission of Gloria and Alleluia, veiling of religious images. And Prophet Noble Ali came to lift the veils. Quadragesima, right? Sunday, right? Now, if I'm not mistaken, Quadragesima, right, is dealing with, I want to say 40, something dealing with 40, first Sunday. So Quadragesima Sunday is, I guess, the 40th day after when Lent starts. Let's look up Quadragesima to make sure Brother Hasan's not guessing my answers, right? Quadragesima. What, was I right or was I wrong? Lent, quote unquote, circa 1600. From medieval Latin, quadragesima dies, the 40th day. Oh, okay, that's what I just said. Altered diminutive pertaining to Latin, quadragesimus, 40th. Oh, that's what I thought. Because I know sexagesima is 60th. From quadriginta, 40, like Septuaginta is 70. Related to quatuor, 4. From Proto-Indo-European, quartwir, or quetwir, pardon me. So that almost looks like twerker, kind of rearranged. Anyway. I try not to see it like that. But literally, if we just put the KWE after the R, it literally says twerk we, like, right? No, or just put the K at the end, like we twerk. Anyway, sorry, yo. That's just what it looks like. Quetware, right? This is what it looks like. Anyway, quote unquote 4. So-called because it lasts 40 days. Earlier in English nativized the form quadragesimi. Mid-15th century related quadragesimo via the vulgar Latin from quadragesima, come Old French quaresma. Modern French, crema. Oh man, I wish Señor Jackson Bey was here. Moorish Latin or the Spanish, quaresma. Italian, quaresima. Also, ultimately Irish, cargas. Gaelic, cargus. Welsh, garawais. Makes you start looking at things a little differently. So what is cargo? Is cargo something in bulks of 40? We won't go there. Anyway, guys. All right, we won't go there. So with that being said, this is where I'm going to yield, guys. I think this is it. We're good. This was a later impromptu improv. You know, guys, I know you know we usually go earlier, but I got quite some emailing to do Saturday, don't I? I got 2 sets of emails to go out tomorrow, so to speak. If I don't send one out tonight, what I am to do is I will yield the floor to my magnificent bros. Honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali, guys. All honors to Prophet Noble Drew Ali. For really like bringing us back, right? The universal philosophy for us to free ourselves with. All right. Come on back to the Zoom. Stop the screen share. Brother Benjamin Bey, Brother Sean Alimo, any last questions, comments, and/or suggestions?
Nope, besides Brother Benjamin picking another great topic again for the impromptu.
I mean, man, it set it off, bro. I mean, seriously. That question is rabbit hole worthy, bro. Seriously. Islam, bro.
Was the fire of it all. That my bros just Leo and Mercury it out, and I just as the fire and let them share it out.
He was like, "Hey man, there's some gasoline right here. I wonder what happens when I drop this match in."
Here comes in my dreadhead brothers there. Like, well, if you peel back this here and this here, and this here, and this.
Quite the.
Yeah, I didn't know that, guys. I was asking simple questions like, so when's Lent? Well, when you say Lent, and then it goes.
Yeah, because for me, when you asked that question, I was like,
It's never just.
Because you know, my mind went right to Wedditas, bro. It went right to Wedditas. Maybe we can share Wedditas in the beginning next Friday. I'll just share the introduction of Wedditas. So that, you know, we're going to just say that this is just part 1. They'll know by the language, but man, these next 3 videos, this is a series for this one. It's an impromptu improv series for this, because we're going to have Señor Jackson Bey, like I said, back. ready to go. He'll be ready to go by 3:40 post meridian Eastern. That's 15:40 Eastern next holy day. All righty. So that is 7 days from the day. That is the 18th March 2022. Pardon me. 18th March 2022. All righty. That you guys will be seeing that. Speaking of fasting, that's kind of where I've been to. You know, it's so funny how, you know, I think I'm going through a spiritual Lent, so to speak. You know, when we're, you know, operating on these frequencies, man, what happens is, you know, we get raptured and have these new bodies and minds, new minds and bodies. That's a testament, right? New body and mind, new testament, right? Testy body, minty mind, right? So with that being said, though, guys, be more American for real, because that's what I enjoy being. Despite where it could probably be confusing, like, yo, why are they talking about church stuff and Jesus and all these different? What we're doing is you know, making sure you're not under the hypnosis of Christian astronomers.
Yeah, we're putting real dancers in your video and taking out the Christians minister dancers in your videos, pretending to be dancers. So putting the actual dancers in the videos.
We're at least saying, hey guys, you can stop that kind of dancing now. We're home, we're awake again. Okay, that kind of energy.
Yeah, let's see, take a breather. You don't have to keep dancing for attention, quote unquote.
Islam. Well,
Right.
Brother Benjamin opens with wisdom and closes with wisdom. And I guess we'll continue this one with be yourselves.
It is meta hibachi topic. Wow. You ready for fire?
I know, right?
Open your mouth.
I know,
Video
right?
said, go heavy on the oil. Do it.
All right, anyway. All righty, my beloved brothers in whom I'm well pleased. Thank you so much, as always, for being my magnificent brothers, my beloved brothers in whom I'm well pleased. I say my namastes to you. Islam, Islam, Islam to everyone. Peace and love.
Peace.
Islam, y'all.
Yo.